Alright. The year is 1254 of the Fifth Age, 1 year prior to current events. Deep in the forest of evergreens between Jewel Harbor and Serpent's Harbor, the air is silent as the fresh snow begins to fall in the early hours of the morning. A light fog covers the forest floor. Deeper into the wood, there stands a tall, massive, red wood tree, which is surrounded with sapling trees that only stick up through the snow by about a foot. One tree in particular is covered in blue leaves and covered in a deep red bark. Lights like fireflies float around these smaller trees, making them glow in the early dawn. At the base of the large redwood, a black bear slumbers in a deep hibernation with her cubs inside of a burrow that is protected by the tree's large roots. The sun begins to rise and gives stir to the phase of the forest. Will-o-wisps float around the foliage of the trees. Squirrels check their dens to make sure it's still safe to forage, and songbirds begin their calls as they search for food. At the top of the redwood tree, tree limbs have been woven together to create a large, uneven dome around 30 feet in diameter, its walls made of the natural foliage of the forest. Though the entryway, the entryway is a bark and stick woven door, opens up and reveals a quaint little home. Its floors are uneven, as they were built up atop existing branches, but nonetheless, it is a very inviting space. A decent-sized greeting room, large enough to share teas and stories and entertainment, is in the center of the abode, with multiple walkways that lead off to different parts of the home. And a shared bedroom inside of a massive nest that has been woven together using twigs and woolen blankets. A pair of owlins begin to stir as the sunlight creeps through the opening of the foliage. The first to rise is an owlin dressed up in a handmade cloak covered in leaves and foliage. Chris, would you like to introduce who your character is and what they look like and what you're going to do first thing this morning?
Yeah, my character's name is Spot. He is a gruntle-looking little owlin. His feathers are a bright orange with a mix of a little brighter brown-colored feathers from here and there, with a massive white spot on his chest, coming from his name. And the first thing he's gonna do is actually start making breakfast, because it's very early.
Yes, it is. Alright. Yep, you get on up, careful not to disturb your bedmate, shall we say, in this situation, and make your way on over to start making up some breakfast. Before I continue, let me go ahead and share you guys an image real quick. And show to players. Here we go. That is an image of your little humble abode, and up at the top is your home.
It's so pretty.
Okay. The next to wake from their slumber, almost reluctantly, from the warmth of the heavy blankets, is an owlin dressed in a similar cloak, however not nearly as well put together compared to Spot's. And begins to stir as Spot is doing his morning routine and is getting breakfast ready to go. Zay, go ahead and introduce your character, what she looks like, and how your morning starts.
Yeah. So my character's name is Dot. She's also an owlin. Very, very small. She'll probably make sure to let everyone know that she is, in fact, actually an inch taller than her twin brother. So they look kind of pretty similar, with like reds, browns, a little bit of some oranges in the feathers, but where her brother has a patch of like white feathers in the middle of his chest, she doesn't have that. Instead, she has a few smaller black feathers around her ears and kind of look like little dots, kind of lending to her name, Dot. She's very reluctant to get out of this very nice, warm, comfy nest that she's made for herself, so she'll probably, snooze for a bit more, and she'll pull herself out of bed when she starts actually smelling breakfast, so.
Very nice. Yep, you smell the...
Typical morning.
Here.
5 more minutes.
Yeah, I know.
Alright, and very reluctantly, Dot, you do pull yourself out of the nest, kind of brush yourself off a little bit as the feathers, particularly towards like the back of your head and everything, is kind of laid up in a funky position from leaning up against your brother. And after kind of cleaning yourself up there just a little bit, you head on over to where your little kitchen area is at, and you could just smell all sorts of these like fresh fruits and nuts and everything that he's cooking up inside of the little kitchen right now.
She'll give herself like a little shake to kind of fix those feathers. You know, like how dogs or cats kind of like shake themselves a little to like mess with their furs. And we'll do a really big yawn. Good morning, brother. What's for breakfast? It smells good.
You know, the usual. Some nuts from around the area, some fresh fruit picked. You know, whatever we can find around.
Great. This one's my favorite. I'll just pick one off the plate and sneak a bite.
Have at it. I'm almost done anyway, so we can already set then.
I'll help finish food prep, I suppose.
Okay.
Oh wow, what's gotten to you this morning? Helping out?
I don't know. Something's a little bit different. I can't put my finger on it, but today seems like a pretty nice day for doing things, I think.
Oh, that's a nice change.
Don't get used to it.
Yeah, no, let me just relish this moment. This is great. Finally helping.
Yes. For you, this is something that you very much wish to take advantage of, as the morning for you two begins, typically how it normally does for you two. However, there is also this energy of sadness that kind of lingers in the air between you two. The reason for that is because today is the last day Dot will spend at the nest, as your drive and calling for adventure has beckoned you to leave the homestead once more. Knowing this, Spot and Dot, you have planned out ahead of time on using today as a means to gather up any additional supplies and materials that Dot feels like she may need for her journey, as well as to try to take the time to say goodbye to all your friends before heading out into the unknown by noon. Right now, the time is 7 o'clock in the morning. What would you guys like to do as you sit down and you finish doing all your prep work? You have breakfast completely made. You guys both go to sit down and eat together for breakfast. I'll open it up here now if you guys wish to have any individual role play of anything in particular that you wish to do, or if you're going to be more or less kind of having a silent breakfast. I'll leave that up to you guys.
Dot would say, so. You finally already thought of like a rough direction to head?
I haven't really thought anything out yet, if I'm to be honest. I'm just thinking I'll just go where the wind blows. You know, wherever inspiration takes me.
The usual Dot, just letting herself get taken somewhere.
You know it.
Well then, I hope you have everything ready. I mean, I can pack you some extra fruits if you need.
That would be lovely, actually.
Good, I will try to pick out your favorites. You know, gotta have something to remind you of this place.
I think I'm going to really miss this place, brother. We made a really nice home here. It's kind of surprising it's only been a year, but time really does fly when you're doing things you like. With the people you like.
True. Our parents would definitely be proud. Maybe they will one day come visit, even though I kinda doubt it.
I kinda doubt it too, but I mean, we made our home the way it is, you know, got a little bit of extra space if they ever do come visit. if ever.
Uh, we always can hope for it. I mean, they're probably busy with their own domain back home, but yeah, maybe one day they will get or ditch the responsibilities for some reason.
Somehow I don't think that's ever really going to happen.
Indeed. Oh well, if it comes to it, we have some rooms prepared.
That we do. For breakfast, Dot is going to kind of pick out all of her favorites on the plate, and when Spot's not looking, she's going to try and take some off of his plate too.
Spot, give me a perception check real quick.
Okay.
You are completely oblivious as your mind kind of drifts off a little bit every so often, thinking about the things that are planned out for today, and knowing that Dot is leaving, and you kind of end up keep looking out the little opening that works as a window that would be in the kitchen area, and every time you look back down at your plate, you're like, did I eat this much already? As food just like slowly disappears until it's all completely gone.
I mean, it wouldn't all be completely gone. I'll make sure to sneak some of his favorites from my plate onto his too. It's somewhat uneven, but I'll try and make it like an even exchange. My
It's like
favorite for his.
I just eat without looking and just don't even realize it.
Yep. And by that point, by the time that you even notice anything that's going on, it's like your little wooden spoon that you've crafted you're just scraping against like an empty wooden plate, and you're like, oh, did I eat all my food already?
Huh. So I've been more hungry than I thought. Also, I kind of misclicked that. That was the GM, and that was a nat 1.
Yes.
Well, that's a great start. I love it already.
Let's get all them ugly rolls out of the way first thing, shall we? All right.
Pray it's not an indication for how the rest of the session is gonna go, or the rest of the campaign.
You shall
Pray
find
for
out.
good RNG.
All right. And so with that, you guys finish up your breakfast. We'll say about this point, it's about 7:30ish in the morning. As you clean up the kitchen area, tidy it up a little bit, and you guys know that you've got quite a bit of time there to kill before Dot plans to make her move on, to move on to new pastures, shall we say. What would you guys like to do?
Well, I know for sure I'm going to kind of linger a little bit while I'm helping to clean things up, if at all. Just because it's like I'm feeling a little reluctant to leave my brother,
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Yeah, just make the most of the time. Just drag it out as long as you can. By fake helping.
Impede him out just a little bit, make extra work just so we take a little bit longer. It's all in the name of spending more time together, brother.
I don't even realize what you're doing at this point.
Very nice.
Well, I guess once this is all done, I will go out and probably feed Shade. That's probably chilling around outside somewhere.
All right. So, you guys kind of have a little moment there to do one last walk around the house as Dot just kind of take in every little bit of the nest that you guys have created over all this time. And eventually, you both head on out to your, we shall say, front little patio area, revealing out to the front of the forested area. And you guys notice below you, the black bear kind of stirs a little bit, seems to be just kind of sniffing around, checking the surroundings there. She seems to be, just kind of more or less tending to her cubs at the base of the tree. You see a group of will-o-wisps that are going down a pathway that seem to be guided by a dryad. Almost kind of shepherdish, like kind of escorting them from one section of the forest to another. And coming out from another tree towards the northern end, you can see Shade, a nice big white wolf that is just beginning to yawn and do his morning stretches and is kind of starting to circle his tree, making sure that the area is safe before he comes over to the base of the giant red tree.
Ah, there he is.
Is it just me, or has he gotten much larger, brother?
Yes.
Have you been overfeeding him?
God, how could you? I would never.
I jest. You've been taking really good care of him, and it shows.
I mean, snacks are you. Come on, everybody likes snacks.
In moderation.
Yeah, guess I will feed him a little less.
No, I was jesting. I was kidding. He's fine. He's perfectly healthy looking wolf. I just, it's starting to hit me leaving. I'm just a little worried, Is he going to be eating enough when I leave? Who's going to feed him all the extra snacks when
Wait,
I'm
what?
gone? I mean, nothing.
So he has been getting around her. God damn it.
And now he'll be getting less around when I'm not here anymore.
Yeah, and as you guys are talking about this, you see Shade come up. He starts like scratching at the base of the tree, very much in his hungry voice.
Oh, buddy, you're not getting as much today. No.
I'll race you down the tree, and that will kind of fly over and try to be the first one there to try and sneak Shade some food.
All right.
God damn it.
You jumping after her, Spot?
Yeah.
All right. You see Dot just immediately jump off, just fold in the wings a little bit, and just like almost a nosedive the full 90 feet down this tree, just and you're like close behind her as you see her just jump off. How about you both give me an athletics real quick?
Boy.
Let's see who makes it to the bottom first.
No.
Very nice. Yep, you guys are hurtling down here, and Spot, after hearing about all of this where you've been extra feeding Shade, he's flapping his wings a little bit harder and manages to inch past you, and with the last 10 feet, he swoops down ahead of you and perches himself very nicely on top of Shade's head and just stares at you as you land into the ground. Or onto the ground, rather.
So,
just one
extra.
piece. Just one
No.
piece. Just one piece.
I
You
look
won't
at
even
Shade.
notice. Look, he's going to be missing all this extra food when I'm gone. Come on, brother. One last one for the road.
God damn it, fine, I will go check up on the bears.
I'll feed Shade and kind of give him the little whoosh whoosh whoosh, like messing with the furs.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to miss you so much, buddy.
Yep, he's all he's like panting and everything, and right before you get a chance to feed him, he just like starts licking your face.
Oh God, please. I just fixed my feathers this morning.
Very nice. And then yeah, as you start feeding Shade there, Spot, you head on over to where the black bears are at, and the mother bear sees you come up and is she's very much used to you coming by to visit the burrow and stuff. Doesn't even flinch as she hears you slowly flap your way up onto a root and look down into the burrow.
Seems like everything's going fine for you guys.
And you can see the cubs are already up and at them and playing with each other and just kind of like pawing at each other's faces, and Mama Bear just watching over them.
Ah, wonderful. I'm not gonna interject in that because the last time I did that, I ended up more ruffled than my sister tends to be, so yeah, I'm gonna let them have their fun.
Very nice. All right, and so what would you like to do then?
I think I'm gonna take a quick look around the area, just make sure everything's fine.
Okay. Give me a perception with advantage. Okay. So with your 10, you look around and it seems to be very much just a standard normal day. The dryads doing their thing with the will-o-wisps, guiding them around the forest. The bears are just playing in the little burrow there. You hear the songbirds up at the top of the trees, and you see squirrels prancing around here and there. You even see a little bunny that kind of poked its head out from a different little burrow that's under one of the other roots there, just slightly northwest of where you're standing right now. And all in all, it just seems to be very much a standard morning, nothing out of place whatsoever.
Ah, perfect. That's how it should be. I'll just head over back to my sister, probably overfeeding Shade, because I wasn't here for a split moment.
Oh yeah, she's gone past just feeding him a little bit. It's like everything out of the pockets, just a little bit. All right, good boy. Oh, you're such a good boy. You know.
Yeah, so yeah, Spot, you come back and you just see Dot just like pretty much upend the little pot that had all the food and stuff for him in there, and you just see Shay just devouring it as it's dropping on the ground.
Oh, god damn it. I can't blame him. He's not gonna see you for a while, but God, you are a glutton.
Let me just do something right quick. Need this one. Yep, this one. There we go. For our viewing audience, they could watch this one. Okay. So yes, yep. Shade is very happy devouring the food there. What would you guys like to do?
So,
oh, go ahead.
Sister, up for like one bigger walk around, say goodbye to everything.
Yeah, I might have been trying to put that off a little bit this morning, but really should. One last walk before I go.
Wonderful. Let's go. We'll just take a walk like around the entire area.
Okay then. So you guys leave Shay to eat up the rest of his food there, and you start to make the walk around the forest to go see everybody else and give them a quick goodbye. And it's going to take you a little bit of time to do so. Which way would you like to go first, north or south?
I will leave that to my sister. Since it's her last day, she can pick.
Let's roll a d20. Smile. All right, dice. Where are we going? I guess that's north.
Okay then. All right. So you two begin to walk your way down, headed north. And you guys would know that in this direction is where Tree Nut typically stays. And let me go ahead and do a quick swap here. Drag you over here. There we go. You guys could drag yourselves up onto the map down where the little bridge is at. And as you guys are coming in, you could hear the thumps of what almost sounds like wood crushing into ground. Just as you guys come up into this section here after about a quick 10-15 minute walk.
I know those sounds. Have you said your goodbyes to Trina yet?
No. Guess I should probably do that now, huh? Now that we're here.
Come on, you can't leave without saying at least goodbye to him.
I know. It's just if I don't say goodbye yet, I could stay here for a little longer, right? That's how time goes.
I would love for that as well, but you know that if you just keep pushing it off, you're eventually never gonna leave.
Yeah, and then I'm going to be kind of cranky later on, being stuck in one place for so long.
Come on, you've been yapping about your adventure for like a few months now.
It hasn't been that long, come on. been, enjoying the life we've carved out here. I think. It's nice here.
It is. But I do know you, and I know you. You don't want to sit still for too long.
Yeah. All right, come on, let's go. Let's get this over with. Pull the band-aid off.
All right. Are you guys walking or are you guys flying?
I think we're walking.
Yes, and I think I'll also go a little bit slower, and while my brother's not paying attention, I want to sneak some leaves and twigs into his feathers.
Give me a sleight of hand. Oh, damn. Natural 20.
He's gonna be so upset later.
Yeah. Spot, you are walking across the bridge here and kind of navigating your way through the thick trees and everything, going towards the sound of the tree thumps out in the distance. And you are completely oblivious as Dot, you are like snapping off like little twigs. You're getting up little bits of like leaves and some grass that's sticking up through the snow and stuff like that, and you're just like sticking it all up and through his feathers. And by the time that you guys get to around the bend here, where on this main path here, where you're able to see, oop, where'd you go?
Here, right?
Yeah, right up here. Yeah. So where you are able to have a line of sight on Tree Nut. Spot, you look like you now have a helmet of leaves.
Am I getting heavier?
It's probably mostly leaves. I don't want to yoink too many twigs off of the trees, but
Right.
it does probably look like he rolled around in a tree or a pile of leaves or something.
Yeah, and as you guys were going across the bridge, you guys both notice. You guys would be aware of this, but you do notice the trees are doing their typical thing, where as the early morning starts, they're starting to dip their roots, crack through the ice on the near where that little riverway is, and dip their roots into the water below. And you can see Tree Nut just around the bend here, and it appears that he is tending to some of the other trees in this area, pruning off dead limbs and things like that, very much taking care of the trees. Tree Nut is a treant who stands roughly 20 feet tall, and he has a very kind face, even though it's made of bark. He seems to be oblivious to that you guys are here at the moment.
Dot's gonna still be dragging her feet a little bit, very reluctant to say goodbye.
You guys
Come
can move your
on.
tokens.
When we're getting close enough. Morning, Tree Nut.
Oh, Master Spot and Lady Dot, it is good to see you this morning.
It's good to see you as well. How is the pruning going? Everything's fine?
Oh, yes. Just normal growth from the trees over the summer. Taking care of any excess at the moment. Nothing out of the ordinary whatsoever.
It's nice when nothing's too strange.
Indeed. The Dryads have been helping me out quite a bit this morning, but it does seem that some of the Will-O-Wisps have been going astray, so they are currently working on rounding them up at the moment. By the way, nice helmet. And he like points out a very long finger towards your head.
Helmet? I just start picking leaves out of my feathers on my head. Like, oh, I can't. Dot, really?
Dot's currently hiding behind him, trying to avoid his gaze.
Come on, now you're being shy after you got How many did you put here?
I don't know what you're talking about, brother. I didn't do it. I think the trees are playing tricks on you.
I'm oblivious. but not that oblivious. Come on.
She'll start to help to take some of them out. She'll make sure to leave like the smallest little tiny ones in his feathers for later. A surprise for later.
Very nice. Tree Nut notices your behavior and everything, and he kind of gets like this warm smile across his face that you can kind of see through like his barking beard. And then the smile kind of fades down a little bit. Oh yes, today's the day, isn't it, Lady Dot?
She's kind of like looking at her feet, kicking at the dirt a little bit. Yeah, it's the day. I guess I'm here to say goodbye, Trina. I don't want to say goodbye, but that's how things are. I need to go. I need. It's gotten a little stale and stagnant here. I need my adventure, you know?
I understand. Well, as I have told you before, there's a nice little city just west of the forest. I just came back myself from being over there and decorating the Pelor's tree only a few days ago. I would recommend going that way first. It seemed to be very friendly folk there.
She'll give a look to her brother. Well, it seems like I got a destination in mind now.
Indeed. Well, so much about letting yourself be dragged by the wind, huh?
I think this is a win, kind of.
It's a nudge in direction.
From what I understand, it's a major tourist attraction, I believe they call it. There's an arena there, and that a lot of people seem to like going there for some kind of tournament. Might be something worth checking out.
My interest is piqued. I always do like a good fight. The arena sounds kind of fun. Ooh.
Yep, and with that, he stops what he's doing, and you've noticed he's gathered up a nice pile of dead tree limbs and everything at the base of some of the trees here. But he turns around from what he's doing, and he gets down onto like both of his knees and kind of like sits down. So now he only appears to be about 10 feet tall now. Well, Lady Dot, I shall surely miss having you around, but I hope that you find what you're looking for out there. And he's got it's kind of a very sad expression on his face. You can tell that he's not happy to see you leave, but at the same time, he seems to be trying to be as supportive as he can of your decision.
She's going to come over and try her best to hug this tree. Tree, and
Yep.
small. I'm going to miss you so much, but I think maybe I will be able to find something out there, something fulfilling. We'll see. I'll make sure to come back and visit, or I'll try.
You better.
This isn't goodbye forever.
I hope not. If possible, please do try to at least visit every once in a while.
I'll make sure of it. She'll give another squeeze of a hug, or try to, and then she'll.
He actually,
come back over to her
the
brother.
first time you went to go and hug him, he actually holds his palm out for you to jump into and brings you up to like his face there, so you can kind of hug him.
Ah, yes, hug the giant face.
And you just like hold onto his nose because it's about the best thing you could grab onto.
Probably.
It's the same size as well. It fits.
And after you do that, he sets you back down on the ground next to Spot, very gently, and he goes to stand back up. When you have the time, Master Spot, there are some more trees that need attending to down in the south. I would very much like to see your assistance when I get down there.
I will, for sure.
Good day, Master Spot, and good day and goodbye, Lady Dot. And with that, he turns back and begins to head slightly north here to start working on the next section of trees up over here. Okay. And what would you two like to do now?
Well, would you like some help, I guess, brother? Little
You
extra.
helping?
I know, it's
Okay.
a little strange, but, I thought I'd do something nice before I leave. I want to make the best of this day before I leave.
Sure, let's go. Dryads are probably down there already. Maybe they finally routed up all the will-o-wisps, which I doubt. They tend to be elusive. Let's go.
Alright, and which way would you guys like to head now?
South.
South.
Okay. Excuse me. Alright, you guys make your way, headed south, and you guys come back across. There we go, moving the map. Alright, you guys come back, and after about another 10-minute walk, roughly, you guys come back in front of the Great Redwood, and you can see that the Dryad has gotten most of the will-o-wisps migrated towards the south here. Let me just do a quick drag here. Let's push these down here. Down here. And Dryad here. Okay. Yep, and you see that the Dryad has managed to be able to wrangle them up and has guided them southwards to where the little will-o-wisp grove is at. Do you guys wish to follow?
Yes.
Okay.
Same direction.
Alright. By this point here, Shade has finished up all of his food, and he sees you guys coming by, and he immediately bolts over. How about you give me a strength saving throw real quick there, Spot?
Yeah, I'll go.
7.
Nope.
Okay. Yep. You come around the bend of that tree there, and you see Shade just like full sprint towards you. Very like happy look on his face, and tail just a wagging and everything else like that. And he just straight tackles you down to the ground and just starts licking all over your face.
Before he hits me, it's like, oh no, I won't know where this is going. Oh god.
No.
Dot's already taken a big step away to avoid getting in the middle of all this crossfire.
And you just get tackled down to the ground, and he's just sitting on top of you now, is just licking your face.
Oh, yeah. Good boy. Ugh. I can still smell it. Mm-hmm. Come on, buddy, let me get up. Please.
And
And just ruffle his head and
real
just...
quick. Trying to find it in your notes. Okay, and just to verify with you real quick, when you cast Awaken on someone, does that allow them to actually speak aloud to you, or is it more telepathically?
I can quickly check the spell. Freaking wall of text.
Or is it like you are able to understand them, but nobody else can understand them?
No, it gains the ability to speak one language.
Okay. Did you pick a language for that by chance?
It would be common.
Okay. Yep. Okay, so he finally lets you get up, and you kind of dust yourself off, get all the snow off of you and everything. He's like, food was good. And just sits down, panting and looking at you now.
Yeah, but you know, you have been, as I've been told, you've been getting a little too much.
No, not too much food. And like kind of stares
Poke his
awkwardly.
belly.
He stares awkwardly over Dot. Not too much food. Not too much food.
Can I check to see if I have any extra food somewhere hidden to give to to Shade?
Do you mean like somewhere that you had hid in the forest, or food you have on your person?
On my person.
I mean, if you've got rations, you could technically give them a ration.
Is that something that you can feed a wolf? It's like
Yes.
hardtack.
Yeah, you could.
Shit,
I
right?
mean, the good thing with a wolf is that they're kind of omnivorous. They could eat like fruits, meats, those kinds of things. So, I mean, yeah, you could definitely feed a ration if you wanted.
Most rations you would have are actually just berries and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'll
jerky, that kind of thing.
kind of rip off a little piece of jerky and feed him again.
Food. Nom, 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 nom.
This is exactly what I mean.
I don't know what you're talking about, brother. It's fine. He's a growing wolf. Needs his food and nutrients, you know?
Well, yeah, and he also needs his movement.
Growing
Mind
boy.
carrying us down south? My big guy?
Oh yeah, south. I know south. And he like
Fun.
gets up and he haunches down forward so you guys can be able to climb up onto his back.
Come on, sis. Been a while since you've been on him, hasn't it?
Yes.
All right. And once you both get up onto his back, he does a quick trot and dodges in between all the will-o-wisps and going around the dryad there and takes you guys headed south. Damn, Speed Racer. Okay. Sorry about that. And boop. Okay, let me double check real quick. Okay, let me. You guys could put yourselves on the map in the northeastern section there, where you see a little will-o-wisp kind of just hanging out over here. And let me go ahead and drag Shade onto the map real quick. There he is. And boop. Okay. Yep, you guys enter into the south here, and you see that there are tons of lights everywhere. It looks like a mixture of fireflies almost are mixed in with these will-o-wisps. And you can see a couple of dryads that are focused around the center here. Just kind of hanging out and trying to keep everybody, you know, all together. And you notice a group of fairy dragons that are kind of heckling the dryads doing their work up in a tree just off to the west a little bit.
It's beautiful as ever, this place.
Tons of mushrooms grow everywhere. They seem to be imbued with just that touch of like fey magical energy to make them grow bigger and larger. A great place for it to be able to harvest spare rations and things like that. But it's also a great treat for the will-o-wisps and the dryads as well.
Another place I'm going to miss. Can I guess, forage some of those mushrooms, you know?
Yeah, sure. You can give me a nature check. Actually, no, it'd be survival.
I would help
actually.
her.
Okay, you can
With
do it
that
with
as well.
advantage then. Actually, do you have survival or nature proficiency?
Survival, yes. Nature, no.
And you spot?
I have nature.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say with that, you could go ahead and do it with advantage. 23.
Nice.
Nice. Yep. So with both of you being very careful to not bump into any of the will-o-wisps or get in the way of the dryads doing their task, you managed to be able to pick out about another 9 mushrooms that you could be able to add to your rations. With the size of them and everything, you know about every 2 mushrooms is about equivalent to a ration for you.
Right. Cool.
You also know that the best way to enjoy these mushrooms is to cook them. You can eat them raw, but if you want like the best taste you could possibly get, slow roasting them on like a spit over a fire is the best way to do it.
I'm definitely going to be saving the majority of these to do that. I will very slowly munch on one as a snack, though,
Okay.
while we're moving around.
And while
If
you're
you want to
doing...
enjoy these how you are, you might want to add a little bit of this. I will just add like a little citrus fruit. You sprinkle this over. Gives a nice taste to it as well. Before and after cooking.
Ooh. Wait, are you giving it to me for
Yes.
later, or? Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll put it in a different pocket from the others. Just, yep. Gonna have to remember to do that now. Thanks, brother.
You're welcome. Well then, let's
Well,
see, which trees do need some trimming?
So you notice the ones that typically need the most trimming are at the southern end of the grove here, down to the south of this area. But as you guys are picking the berries and you're telling her about using the citrus fruit to help give it a little bit better taste, you can't help but just overhear the Fey dragons that are in the tree right next to you guys, just heckling you the whole time. I see, not they're too good to fly now. They gotta come in on the back of a wolf. Too good to even walk, is it?
Well, that's every time.
You know they do this like every morning to you.
Let's just keep going.
Oh, now he's too good to even talk to us. I see how it is. Yeah, that's not be why she's leaving. Yeah, he doesn't talk much. It's boring company.
I just stare back at them, be like, just normal face, just stop it. Just no. And I just turn back and just head towards south to the trees.
Okay. Are you following Dot?
Yes, Dot looks a little bit kind of irritated, but she's like, I'm not gonna say anything. Today's supposed to be a nice last day with my brother. Don't fall for their bait.
Not gonna start beating out of the shit out of the dragons again. Hold it back.
Yeah, and as you guys walk through the little mushrooms and past the will-o-wisps and stuff, and it's like, you just hear them, yeah, you better keep walking. But you do, unless you want to do anything there, you guys do make it down to the south where you can see that there's all these trees. They definitely have numerous dead branches intermixed with the evergreen needles and everything else like that. You can definitely see why Tree Nut was looking for assistance, as this area just has not been pruned at all yet.
Because I'm spiteful right now, I'm gonna cast Druidcraft and create like a little wind right under their asses, so they.
All right, show me Druidcraft.
Just to be a little spiteful, because they're ruining this.
Okay, it lasts for 1 round, so 6 seconds. See if leaves below the bloom, you can create instantaneous sensory effects such as fallen leaves, puff of wind. Okay, puff of wind. Okay, and you can create this puff of wind, and all of them just all of a sudden like shoot up out of the tree, like a good 20-30 feet up into the air as you're walking past it, like wow, hey, 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 and they just kind of like float there with the air current. Just like, what just happened? And before they just the air current stops, and like for that moment there, they kind of forget that they're dragons, and they just fall into the tree.
Dot's gonna let out a little snicker, like, serves them right.
How about you all just bugger off? And
No, how about you?
let me check something real quick. Need this tab here real quick. Can you both make me a wisdom save real quick?
Sure. Damn. That sucks.
Okay. As they yelled out, how about you just bugger off? You feel this sensation come over you, Spot. And you don't know exactly what the whole deal is exactly. But you feel absolutely compelled to not only like walk away from these fairy dragons, but to like literally just like walk as far as you can to the edge of the forest. You have been suggested. Dot, you have made the save, and you just see Spot like turn on his heel and just start heading south past this grove here of where all the pruning needed to be done. He just keeps walking.
Before he gets too far, she's gonna be like, hey, wait, where are you going, brother? I thought these are the trees that we need to get, right? She'll kind of make a grab for him, I guess. Just, grab his hand.
Not sure how to just work. If someone stops you, does it break it?
I am actually double checking that now. If you or any of your companions damage the target, the spell ends. You would have to actually hit him to make him stop.
Well, I'm not about to hit my brother, and I'm not gonna pull hard, um, either. So like, if he's starting to keep going, I'll kind of like walk with him,
Okay.
I guess.
Okay.
Oh my god, 8 hours?
Yeah, it goes up to 8 hours until until he stops.
Uh, Once he starts getting too far,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm like holding his hand and kind of following him for a little bit, but once he starts to get too far, I'm kind of give him like a little slap on the arm and be like, "Hey, I thought we were here to do some pruning and help Trina out."
You want to do an unarmed strike?
Yes, I don't want to put too much force into it though, you know?
Right. Okay. Show me an unarmed strike real quick.
That would be strength, I think, right?
Yes.
Oh, thank God you hit.
Yep. Yep. You just kind of wind up your wing there and just slap him like really, good across the face. Spot, you take 1 point of damage, bludgeoning. However, you snap out of this suggestion and you now realize what the fairy dragons had done to you. As you guys are now probably, we'll say probably about an hour from your tree. We'll say about this point it is now 9 in the morning.
Oh, these goddamn. I shouldn't have. These goddamn stupid fey dragons. Hold on, where are we?
So you guys are further south into the forest. You notice that there's not nearly as many fairies or fey creatures in this general area. Let me actually roll you guys up to here real quick, and I am going to drag a party token on real quick just to kind of give you a general idea of where you're at. You guys, wrong map. Here we go. So you're down about in this grid here. You know your tree is up in the next grid up, almost. It's like right on the edge between those two grids.
Sorry, sis. I got me with their stupid suggestion again.
It's fine. You would think that one of these days you would stop falling for their suggestions, right? But I'll just take it as more bonding time with my lovely brother before I go.
It's not always that easy to just ignore it.
I know, I know. Oh, what are you going to do when I'm not here to snap you out of it?
Yeah, we'll just keep Shade around. Maybe he will catch on and yeah, hopefully.
Yep. Shade has been going with you this whole time as well, and he seems to have been very curious about this sudden compelled nature that you had almost for this last hour. And every once in a while, he kind of like just nudges you and like, "Hey, where are we going?" Until this all broke, and so you at least have Shade with you if you look for a speedy way back, shall we say, or a faster way back.
Well, we should get back to the pruning. This time I'm just gonna ignore these goddamn boogers. Well, I guess, do you want to take the scenic route or do you want to take the speedy route? Which looks over at Dot.
Scenic. I don't
Well,
want to do speedy. Speedy just means I'm going to leave you faster.
well, I thought it's more of a sense that it didn't need to work if we take the scenic route, but hey, I take it. Well, we get to have like a bigger circle around back to the trees.
Okay. Yeah, you make a big circle to kind of taking the scenic route. One of the other less known, very obscure trails that you know kind of goes the long way back around up to where the little mushroom grove was at. And it takes you about an hour and a half to get back up that way. And now, let me drag you all back. Here we go. By this point, getting back to the area where you guys knew that you needed a prune, it is now 10:30 in the morning. Do you guys wish to have any additional role play during that time, or do you guys want to just kind of get back here and start getting to work?
I think was just taken in the scene.
Yeah. I don't think too much. I'll still sneak some more leaves and twigs in. Not as much as before, just, little bits here and there.
Do another sleight of hand. As it's been quite a bit of time since the last time.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, this time on the way back, you're trying to do the same thing that you have done before, but it seems like Spot has wisened up to what you did to him earlier, and every so often you go to try to stick like another twig or another leaf into his feathers, and he just like instantly turns around and like swats your hand right before you're able to do it. It's like, stop it, the whole way back.
Just one, just one.
No, just please stop.
Okay.
Also, that comment, god damn you.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Nice. All right. Yep. So it's 10:30 in the morning now. You know that's about an hour and a half before Dot has said that she was planning on leaving. But you guys do get to work, getting flying up into the trees and working vigorously away at trying to break off these dead limbs and start gathering up a neat pile down at the forest floor. Do you guys want to do an athletics check for that real quick? Okay. So, Dot, with your 17 on your athletics there, you're very much trying to dedicate yourself to getting this task done, and you're like trying to just focus all of your attention on this before actually having to say goodbye. You're trying to just forget about having to say goodbye at the moment, and you create a very big pile at the base of one of the trees there with the amount of work you put in. Spot, with your 12, your pile isn't nearly as big as hers is. As you kind of know that this is going to be here for you for a while, and you're just kind of more or less taking your time, trying not to exhaust yourself in any measure. And about another hour goes by as you guys are doing this. So after about another hour goes by, you know it's about 11:30 now. And about this point, Spot, I would say this is when you more or less realize what time it is and stop what you're doing to go over to Dot.
Oh, it's gotten... Man, being a... Can't think of word, god damn it. Being immersed into work really makes time go by, huh?
What?
Hey,
Wait.
Dot.
Oh,
we-
it's.
I didn't think you would enjoy it this much, but... Well, it's getting to the time you said you wanted to leave.
I didn't even notice. I was just so busy, so focused, I guess.
It gets addictive, doesn't it?
I don't know about addictive. It's just the thing, helping my brother out with his job. But I'm not gonna stay here and help you do this for much longer if that's what you're trying to hint at.
Nah. I know today is special. I will gladly take that time, but if you don't leave, as much as I hate to say it, it's gonna get too dark and you probably won't be able to enjoy most of your trip. At least for the first day.
True. I guess I should get started and get to checking everything again and leaving you.
Well, let's head back to the house and get the rest of the stuff.
Alright, and so with that, you both jump down out of the tree, get back up onto the back of Shade, and you guys head on back up to your humble little abode. Oh. Okay. Here we go. And that, and drag you guys over here. All right. Yep, you make it back over to your tree, and you guys fly on up and back into your little homestead at the top of the tree. And this is very much a bittersweet moment as Dot, you begin to gather up your pack and start double checking over, making sure all your supplies are there, and you kind of just feel a little compelled to look through the homestead once more. Oh, Adeline. Well, with the hair. Okay.
As I'm going through my pack again, like trying to decide, okay, should I take one more blanket, or maybe I should leave one for my brother? It'll probably be a little bit cold without me here, right? So I'll leave him an extra blanket. I won't take it. I won't take it. And then I'll kind of slowly go through the house again. And then I guess make it back to my brother.
In the meantime, I would have prepared like an additional 2 rations with like your favorite fruits and snacks.
Yep, and the moment has come that it is now time to say goodbye.
God damn, I will miss you. I just goes in for a hug.
She'll reciprocate and give a really tight squeeze.
Well, you better stay safe out there on whatever it is you're gonna get up to.
I will. And you too. I mean, I know nothing too big or dangerous happens here, but you make sure to stay warm without me. Yeah,
I will.
Take care of Shade and the bears, and I'm gonna miss you, brother.
Well, we do have these sending stones, but I mean, just only sending messages does seem a little far.
I feel like it's not going to be enough. How could you say so much in just 20 words or so? How can I annoy you with only 20 words?
We'll just have to keep at it. And I will definitely keep you posted on the cups.
Please do. And I'll let you know how things are going on my end too. Make sure you don't stay awake at night all worried for my well-being. That's how that goes, right?
Yeah, something on the lines of that. Heard us. What's the saying like that? I don't even know. Didn't think this moment would be this hard. I mean, setting out from home was difficult, but...
That's different though. I feel like, you know, it's not like we were going to stay with our parents forever.
Yeah, that is true.
This was going to happen one day or another, right? I can't just stay stuck to you like glue for the rest of our lives.
Much as we both probably enjoy that, but... Nah, come on.
We gotta start living our own lives, I guess. Doing our own things.
Come on. Better get going before I actually start tearing up here. Just starts to, like, shove you slightly towards the exit.
She's going to kind of go that way, but also she's trying to hide. Little few stray tears are starting to fall. No, if he doesn't see it, it didn't happen.
Alright,
I'm not crying, you are.
And so with that, trying to hide your tears, you jump off the front porch and start flying, headed westbound and off to new horizons. And how about you both get an inspiration for that? Time goes by rather quickly after Dot leaves the nest. Dot goes very much out on her adventure there, making an extended stay at Serpent's Harbor from Tree Nut's recommendation. And it's very much an interesting visit for Dot, but after about 5 months or so, she decides that things are getting a little stale again, that she needs to hit the road again. And she does make a quick visit over to the forest on her way headed eastward and says hi for a brief amount of time. But she does eventually head back out again, this time headed northeast up to Great Snake River Town. Meanwhile, though, Spot, you have been very busy taking care of the forest like you normally have, but you've also been setting up all these new shelters and little sanctuaries for a lot of the wildlife to make sure that everybody's got a comfortable home for the next winter to come. However, 4 days before current events, Spot, you are sprinting through the forest right now. Things are not normal anymore. Weird things have begun to start to sprout up at the edge of the tree line that you've never seen before. You've noticed these odd, large sandy circles beginning to come up on that edge of the forest between your forest and Serpent's Harbor. Much of the small wildlife seems to have vanished from that area, and you can feel a sickening aura anytime you're near one of those sites, almost to the point where it makes you feel agitated, makes you want to lash out in a way. You don't understand it, but you know that if you keep at least 30 yards away from them, you don't feel this sickness. You know that those sites were once very lush and full of life, but they are now barren, as they're just a completely perfect circle of just sand. There's no trees, no grass, nothing is there. Even the snow that is falling right now that lands in this area just seems to disappear, and it only will allow sand to be in that space. You've seen about 5 of these sites now. And after a few days, the Fae in the forest closest to that area have become extremely defensive and hostile. The larger wildlife, such as bears and wolves, have fled those areas and are trying to seek refuge with you and Tree Nut closer to Jewel Harbor. You have seen large caravans leaving Serpent's Harbor in the last 2 days. And at first, they tried to cut through the forest because it was the quickest path. But because of the agitation and the new hostility being displayed from the dryads and other fey creatures, it has scared the people away and has forced them to take the longer path around the forest to get to Jewel Harbor. At night, you have observed these odd blue flashes out in the distance around Serpent's Harbor, and the night air is filled with the sounds of blades clashing and death screams anytime that you're near the edge of the forest closest to Serpent's Harbor. Based on your conversations with Tree Nut and everything, your only assumption right now is that this is some form of new plague, but it's definitely very odd and just not quite right. And you've begun to try to take it to your own hands in a personal investigation of these sites to see if you can be able to find anything in particular. We start off with you at the edge of the forest, and it's very dark out now. And we'll say that's probably about 11 o'clock at night as you're trying to look out for these flashing blue lights that you've seen before. Most of the clashing of blades and the death screams that you had heard from the previous 2 nights have all but vanished. Every once in a while, you might hear a small scrimmage here or there, but it's nowhere near like it used to be. What would you like to do at the moment?
It's getting worse and worse. I guess I'll try to look out if any more of those blue flashes come and check the rough direction if I can.
Alright, give me a perception check. Okay. With your 15, You are patiently observing at the top of the tree right now, looking out towards the west, looking for any sign of movement, any sign of those blue flashes, as best as you possibly can. And you think you see one way, way, way out on the other side of Serpent's Harbor, but it's extremely dim. You can't tell if it's that or if it's maybe just a form of light. It's very hard to tell, even because of the distance. If you were to guess, it's got to be somewhere between 2 to 4 miles away. But as you are doing this, with your perception that you just gave, you hear a very interesting noise coming out from behind you, back over towards Home Tree.
I will rush there immediately.
Yeah. You rush, going through the tree line, just dancing through in between the lush foliage over top as you're just flying as fast as you can. And as you get closer, you hear the noise again. Excuse me. Let me just do something on my end real quick. Okay. You come back to your tree line, or back over to where Home Tree is at, desperately trying to figure out what is making the noise. You notice that the entire area near where your home is at is covered in this thick fog. And as you're growing closer with your perception check, you could smell this smell just like comes in and like almost overwhelmingly is very much the smell of decayed flesh. And as you break through the tree line, let me on the right layer first. As you come through, you can now hear the growling from Shade, and you can hear the roars of the mother bear, and you could also hear the buzzing of wings as you come into the clearing near where your tree is at. And before you is a creature you have never seen before. It is big. This thing looks like this weird human deer hybrid, stands almost 10 feet tall. It seems to have veins that are pulsing with this odd, like, luminescent green energy. And you notice that over either shoulder of it are these giant wasps that also seem to have the same green luminescent veins going throughout their bodies and into their eyes. And you can see that Shade is trying to help the mother bear protect her burrow as these creatures are starting to bear in. You have one action, or one thing that you can do right now before we roll initiative.
God, what to use? This is terrifying. Yes, because I have never seen this before, I will use Conjure Animals.
Okay. Conjure Animals. Let's read over that really quick. Okay, you summon fey spirits that take the form of beasts and appear in unoccupied spaces that you can see within range. Choose one of the following options. Beast can challenge rating of 2 or lower. 2 beasts of challenge rating 1 or lower, and 4 beasts of 1/2 or lower, or 8 beasts of 1/4 or lower. Each beast is also considered fey, and it disappears when it drops to 0 hit points. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. This one? I'm pulling up stuff in the background while you decide on which of those beasts you want to pick.
One beast, 2 of 1, 4 of a half. Which one was half? Quickly check. I will summon 4 additional black bears.
You said 4 black bears?
Yep. They're
Okay.
half, so that's. And I will surround the weird elk with it. Let me long.
Okay. There we go. All right. We should be ready to be started. To get started now. Up first is this odd humanoid stag-looking creature. He sees everything come up around him with these bears, and he is going to make a bite and a claw attack at the one to the north of him. Okay, so the first thing he does is that he lunges out at the one on the north end here and sinks his teeth in hard into that black bear. And as it does, energy, like this black-looking, like saliva, gets infused with the black bear there. It takes... actually, I gotta make a Constitution save here just to double check on that. There's my die.
Does the bear make one, or?
The bear makes one, yes.
I think I have this here.
It's a Constitution DC 13.
For animal, I don't know since it doesn't show me the saves, it just shows me the stats. I think just a con roll, I don't know.
It would have a +2 on its Constitution, so you could just roll a d20 there. Nice. 19. Okay. So, yeah, it manages to rip itself away from the bite just before you see this black...
It rolled it twice.
Yeah, it's set automatically for advantage, it seems.
There it is. I'm changing it already.
Okay. But yeah, it manages to be able to pull itself away, getting away from that black ooze that seems to be dripping from its mouth there. It takes 22 points of damage with that bite. And then it follows up with its claws bared on this massive hand. It does a huge swipe on the right, across the right side of its face, and just like almost cleanly rips the face off of this bear. That bear is dead. Up next are the giant wasps.
Disappear since they're magical.
So the giant wasp, first, this one will buzz over here, and this one will buzz to here. And they are going to lunge forward and try to sting at these two bears. Okay. Yeah, that first one is a crit. And that second one was almost a crit. And let me just roll the damage on that real quick. That is... Okay. So the one at the first one up here, it takes 14 points of piercing damage. It now needs to make a Constitution saving throw DC 11.
Aw.
Okay, that one does fail. Okay. It takes an additional 8 points of poison damage, as it just got blasted there.
Was 21 damage, if I'm not
For a
mistaken?
total of 21 damage. You can see that this bear is barely holding on right now. The other one, that was not a crit. Alright, the other bear takes 4 points of damage, and it also needs to make a Constitution saving throw DC 11. Alright, that one manages to barely get nicked by this poisonous stinger, but manages to keep the wound to a minimum before it can be able to inject the poison into that bear. Up next is Mama Bear. Mama Bear sees everything that's going on here, sees that these other bears have just kind of poofed into existence, and is hoping that they are able to hold this thing back as much as possible as she uses her body to try to fill up as much of the entrance as the burrow as possible, trying to keep the young cubs inside protected as best as she can. She is going to hold an action. Up next is Spot. It is now your go.
Yeah, I will. Where's that spell? I'm gonna try to get rid of one of the wasps. Move over a bit to here. And chuck the ice knife at it.
Ice knife. Okay. Alright, it's a ranged attack. Oh, ranged spell?
Should have a yep.
Okay, double checking there. Because I see on the here there's like DC 15 dexterity.
Yeah,
saves.
it's a multi-stage thing. If it hits, it hits. It does the piercing damage, but even if it misses, it will still need to make a DC for the cold damage because the knife explodes.
Okay. Yep. And then you said there was the giant wasp up here, right?
Yeah.
On the north end? Okay. So it definitely gets hit with that first chunk of damage there. And it needs to make a DC 15 dexterity. Okay. It fails the dexterity save as this ice knife that you just chucked at it explodes out of nowhere and dealing another 8 points of cold damage. Very nice. With that explosion, you just see this wasp get ripped to pieces, like almost inside out, and what's left of it falls to the ground dead.
One down. That's it for my turn.
Okay. Up next are your black bears.
They will all move up to the big guy.
Mm-hmm.
Start with the top one, and he will use its... Yeah, he will do 2 claw attacks at it.
Okay.
Hold on, that just rolled to hit, right?
Where is my setting cogwheel? Here we go. There we go. Go ahead and re-roll those now that I've got that set up.
Not a sheets. There we go.
Yeah.
No, wait.
Yeah, I turned on its auto roll damage. Okay, there's the first one. Okay. Are you changing one of them to be a bite?
Yeah.
Okay. And one claw.
Yeah.
Okay. This black bear tries to come up and tries to bite in onto its arm and tries to slash across with a giant pawed hand. Unfortunately, this creature is surprisingly quick on its feet and easily dodges out of both of them.
Next one is also going to move up, and because he's seen his buddy not managing to bite it, he will do 2 claw attacks.
Okay. Again, just not having any luck here. Dancing around this odd-looking creature. This one parries away both claw attacks easily with both of its massive arms.
15 didn't hit. Damn. And yeah, the last bear will get rid of the wasp below it and just trying to swat it.
Okay. The first one misses, but the second one you manage to be able to get it clear across the abdomen area there very nicely, and it takes 5 slashing damage. Nice. You can tell that it's injured, but it's still buzzing there, looking very menacing as those wholesome green eyes just stare back at this thing vehemently. Alright. Is that in the turn for the black bears?
Yep.
Okay, up next is Shade. Shade sees you through the tree line there, and he's actually going to head straight for you. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, dash 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to come to here and get right next to you. And you could definitely tell with the look on his face and everything, he is extremely worried about this situation. And he's almost kind of like nudging you, or like trying to use his head to point you over towards Mama Bear that has bodied herself in front of the burrow.
god. Yeah, the cups.
And that will end his turn. Up next is this death stag looking creature. It is going to welcome the challenge from these black bears, and it is going to go do 2 more claw attacks on... Actually, let me double check. Yeah, it's going to do 2 more claw attacks. One for this one and one for this one. Okay. This thing rears up and just kind of gives that roar. And comes down hard, slashing at both of them with these mighty hands of his. They both take a good chunk of damage. This one on top here, that was barely standing after taking the brunt from that giant wasp, is just clobbered back and falls to the ground dead. The other one takes a huge bashing from that other giant hand. It manages to stay on his feet, but you can definitely tell that it's very much injured.
Yikes.
And that will end its turn. Up next is the giant wasp. And this giant wasp is going to try to sting at that bear again.
So on its death, the other bear that just died would just poof out.
Okay.
Because they are counting as like conjured beasts, so if they die, they just poof away.
Right. Let me do this real quick. It had a 6. Okay. Let me drag you back up to here. So you go below the dire wolf.
Oh, it deleted the initial. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So the giant wasp is going for another sting on that bear. Okay. It does so. It manages to sting right up into the shoulder there, dealing another 3 points of piercing damage to it. It needs to make another Constitution saving throw. DC 11. Okay.
Man, my rolls are so bad.
Yep. This bear is unfortunate that this time that this stinger digs in a little bit deeper than the last time and injects the poison into it, taking an additional 11 points of poison damage. That for a total of 14 points. So it's going to be 7. Okay. And that is it for the giant wasp. Up next is Mama Bear. Mama Bear is looking very worried at this point. Still trying to keep herself bodied up, to try to plug up that hole as much as she can. But you can tell even from this distance that she's starting to look for potential exit routes. She's going to hold an action. Spot, you are up.
Hold off on that. I will. Where is it? Find this spell. Can't use any other concentration stuff right now, so I will I will just chuck another ice knife at it.
Okay, you're chucking one
Elk.
at the... Alright, let's see the ice knife. Ooh,
Ooh.
Very nice. Yeah, you definitely hit it this time, and you see the ice knife embed itself up just above the shoulder blade, up near the neck there, dealing 8 points of damage to it. Let's do this. Alright, and let me see about that Constitution save real quick.
Dex. Not con. Dex.
Oh, Dex, okay. It is unable to deal with the ice knife in time as it explodes in its shoulder there, dealing another 14 points of damage. Very nice. Okay. This thing looks very strong on its feet still, though.
I will just tell Shade, come on, buddy, we gotta defend our home.
Okay.
Not gonna let this thing take it. Basically, inspire him a bit to go for the attack.
Okay, so you're trying to get him to attack the creature?
Yeah.
Okay, then. Okay. It kind of gives you like a knowing nod there, and it gets ready to pounce towards the creature. Does that end your turn?
Yep.
Okay. Up next are your black bears.
Come on, big boys. That's the right one.
Okay.
Hitting the elk.
Yep, so the first one, again, misses this really wide away from this creature, but he manages to double back and slashes this thing across the face, dealing 7 points of slashing damage to it. Very nice. The creature looks down at this black bear and very much has its attention now focused on that black bear.
And the other one's gonna try to get the wasp out.
Okay.
That a hit?
That first one is a hit. You doing the second one?
And the second one will go to the elk.
Okay. So the first one you paw, he comes up with a mighty paw and bashes into this wasp, almost ripping off one of its wings. This thing is barely hovering in the air. It reels back with another of its mighty paws and slashes again across the face of this creature, dealing another 7 points of slashing damage to it. Nice. That. Okay. Does that end your turn with the black bears?
Yes.
Okay, up next is Shade. Shade is going to take your thing here, and he's going to charge forward. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's going to come up to here, and...
Yeah, good boy. Start flanking. Let's go.
Yep, and because he is based off the Dire Wolf stat, he does have advantage with also having pack tactics. And he is going for that bite attack. Ooh, nice. This thing lunges forward as the creature has its attention on both of these black bears and manages to get in behind it really, really well and just sinks its teeth into the meat of its leg there with a critical hit, dealing 15 points of piercing damage. Down to... Okay. This thing is definitely starting to look pretty weak at this point. It's still on its feet, but you can tell that it's starting to struggle. Let me just make that strength saving throw real quick. And... okay. And with that, you see as Shade has a giant bite on this thing's leg with all of his might. Mia manages to drag the creature down to the ground. It is now knocked prone.
Let's go.
Alright, up next is the Death Stag. Seeing this, the creature looks back over at the wolf that just came in, that just dragged him down to the ground. He's going to take half of his movement to get back up onto its feet. And he is going for a bite attack and a claw attack against the wolf. But Shade is too fast this time, as the first bite attack completely misses it. But in his attempt to dodge out of the bite, he manages to get in the way, or to get into just the right position for the claw attack to come swinging down hard on Shade, dealing 11 points of slashing damage to him. That will be the end of that creature's turn. Up next is the giant wasp, which is barely holding on.
Damn,
With its last bit of effort there, it is going to try to sting again at that black bear. This time, succeeding and getting that sting in there, dealing another 5 points of piercing damage. It needs to make another Constitution saving throw, DC 11.
Ah, no.
Okay. Yep, it fails the Constitution saving throw there, and you watch from this distance as this wasp like clings onto it to dear life and just pumps poison into this black bear, and it falls over to the ground, dead. And when it hits the ground, it goes poof as it disappears. That will be the end of the wasp's turn. It is Mama Bear. Mama Bear, after seeing what's going on here, sees that Shade has come to join the fight and has seen your ice daggers. She seems a little bit more prepared, or a little bit more less tense as she was beforehand. Regains kind of her composure there, and bodies up once more, a little bit more determined. She is going to hold another action. At this point, coming out of the tree that's right next to you there, Spot, you can see a dryad morphs out of the tree and sees everything that's going on, and it is going to charge up at this beast. Let me get back on the right layer. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Up to here. And then the dryad is going to swing at it with a club. And actually manages to get a good thwack across the face of this creature, but you could tell that it did not do much of anything to it. Here we go. The creature now stares at this dryad, very, like, you really want to do that kind of look on its face. And yet the seeing that the dryad is very surprised with this, and as a bonus action is going to cast Shillelagh, and you can see the club morph and get hardened as it creates this giant bulb of knots and roots and everything at the very end of the club there, ready to make another attack. Spot, it is now your go.
Seeing everybody go in, I will also take the turn and move up with everybody. 5, 15, just about make it, and I will hit it with my staff.
Nice. And that is
a
bludgeoning.
Pathetic damage roll. God damn.
Yep, you come up and join up with
That is
Shade.
magic.
It is straight magic.
Yep, that's magic damage.
Staff of the Woodlands. Can you just fill me in on real quick what the Staff of the Woodlands does again?
Hold on, I have it here. Can be wielded as a magic quarterstaff that grants +2 bonus attack and damage roll while holding. You have +2 bonus to spell attack rolls. Yeah, so.
Okay, so it amps up what your spells are capable of doing as far as being able to attack with it. But doing it as a standard attack, does that give you a +2 to just the attack itself? Because, like, I know it would be, like, considered, like,
a bonus
magical
to attack
damage, but it
and
would still
damage
be
roll.
bludgeoning, correct?
I think the one is the bludgeoning then, yeah.
Okay, then, yeah. I just wanted to double check.
Since
on
it's a
that.
magic quarterstaff, I don't know if that, like, converts all the damage to magic, so.
Not 100%. That's why I wanted to double check. It can get through
Then
most
it's 2
things,
magic,
though.
1 bludgeoning.
Okay. Yep, you swing at it and you hit it across the back of the head, but you can see that it doesn't really do a whole lot as you just kind of break off a tiny little part of its antler there, and then it turns to look at you. Up next is your last black bear.
Seeing the wasp still alive and getting his buddy, he will move down a square and try to finish off that pesky fly.
Alrighty.
And completely failing. Shit.
Well, unfortunately, the black bear in its current state, a bit weakened from everything else, desperately tries to swing at this wasp. But this thing seems to be running on just like pure survival right now and dodges handily out of the way of both of those claw attacks. Up next is Shade. Shade, feeling very proud with himself of what he did earlier, he is going to try for that bite attack again. But unfortunately, this time the creature is kind of wizened up to what it's doing and handily dodges out of the way of Shade. Up next is the Wendigo, or the Death Stag, rather. Seeing everything that is going on here, let me double check something real quick. Alright, it is going to use its action to disengage. And it's going to go 1, 2, 3 this way into the fog. And let me just roll something for it real quick. Okay.
I don't have Sentinel.
So, You see it go into the fog, where it's kind of, you know, like at first where it seems to be a silhouette and kind of headed towards these trees, and then you see it disappear into the foliage. And that shall end its turn. Up next is the giant wasp. Alright. Giant wasp, desperate there. It is going for one more sting attack against the bear. And with this one, it gets just enough to be able to find its stinger and plants it square into its nose, causing 5 piercing damage to it. It needs to make a Constitution saving throw, DC 11.
God damn it.
And unfortunately, that is not enough, as it injects the poison in through its nose and directly into its brain, causing 7 more points of poisoning damage to it, and that causes it to keel over onto its side and go poof. And now, the giant wasp is going to charge up at you and end its turn. Up next, Mama Bear. Mama Bear is looking extremely scared right now, as she pretty much saw the same thing that you did, where this creature had just disappeared into the mist. Is very much on edge, trying to figure out what to do. It's going to hold an action. Up next is the Dryad. Dryad is going to see about more or less where that creature had gone off to initially. And in a desperate attempt, it is going to cast Entangle on... Let's see, that's 20 by 20, so that's going to be that by that, like that. Okay, let me draw a square real quick. Shape. Okay. Alright, this whole spot here, the ground bursts up with these thorny vines and gets all wrapped up inside of itself and creates like this giant barrier in this area. It is desperately trying to figure out where this thing has gone, but it's unfortunately just not having any luck, or as far as you can tell, it just did not have any luck, and you don't hear any screams or any anything that might have sounded like the Dryad had managed to entangle this beast. That will end the Dryad's turn. Spot, it is your go. This creature seems to have disappeared and blended in with the mist altogether. You have no idea where it's at, and you've got a giant wasp now bearing down on you.
I will ignore the wasp and use charges of my staff to cast Wall of Thorns.
Okay, Wall of Thorns. Tangled person and needles for thorns appears in a range of a solid surface and lasts for the duration, up to 10 minutes. Make the wall up to 60 feet long, 10 feet height, and 5 feet thick, or in a circle of a 20-foot diameter, up to 20 feet high and 5 feet thick. Walls block line of sight. Alright, so where are you wanting to put this wall? Or this area?
Roughly where it disappeared, so 20. God, roll 20 and making circles.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a pain in the butt.
Try to like. Come on. There we go. Will not make it the full. Actually, that should be the 20. Yep.
Right there?
Yep, right there.
Okay.
As I've seen it disappear there, I would try to capture it as well.
I'm just reading your spell real quick. Okay. You hear a loud screech come out. Roll me that 7d8. Just double check something real quick. Okay. And with that loud screech, as your wall of thorns comes up out of nowhere, you hear the as all these thorns like seem to embed into flesh, and the screech suddenly stops. And you now see materializing out of the mist what is left of this thing tangled up inside of your web here up against the tree. Let me go ahead and move this real quick. And there we go. The creature is dead, but you still have a giant wasp in front of you. Does that end your turn?
I will also tell Shade, get this stupid bug. I think we got the big guy.
Okay. And that ends your turn?
Yep.
Okay. Up next is Shade. Shade gives you a nod and immediately lunges out to bite at the wasp. And surprisingly, this wasp manages to dodge out of the way of the bite. Just barely. Up next is the wasp. The wasp is going to lunge at you with a sting, trying to ignore the dog at the moment. Does a 23 hit?
Yes.
Okay. You take 5 points of piercing damage as this massive stinger embeds itself into up into your shoulder, just above or just between your arm and your wing, and it starts to inject poison into you. You take an additional 11 points of poison damage.
Damn, my rolls today.
That'll be it for the giant wasp. Up next is Mama Bear. Mama Bear, now seeing that this thing looks like it is dead, now charges forth to come and join you. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 5, 4, right there. And roars menacingly at this wasp. She is unable to do anything else at the time. Up next is the Dryad. Dryad moves forward and is going to swing with the shillelagh as hard as it can, trying to get rid of this wasp. And manages to hit it with a mighty blow from the shillelagh, knocking it clear out of the sky and down onto the ground. Alright. You are now out of combat.
Thank you, Mr. Dryad.
The Dryad speaks to you in Sylvan. This is not right. Kind of like
it definitely isn't.
Now using the shillelagh to kind of poke at the wasp, and you can see the remnant of this like luminescent green, almost seems like energy that flows through what would almost appear through to be veins inside of this giant wasp. And the Dryad looks extremely curious at this creature.
Let me check this out. I will use detect magic on the wasp's corpse.
Okay, let's see detect magic. Alright, you using this as a spell slot, or are you going to do this as a ritual, or can you cast
I will use it as a spell slot.
Okay. Yep, you cast detect magic on this creature, and reaching out with your feathered hand, you dig deep inside of it, into its body there, sensing for magical energy, and you do detect necrotic energy flowing through this creature.
This truly is not correct. These things are more dead than normal. And I will roll my concentration of the Wall of Thorns.
Okay.
And check the gigantic corpse.
Okay. You move on up over towards the corpse, and the foul stench of this decay and everything just fills your nostrils. It's extremely potent now. And as you look upon this creature, it is very much something that you've never seen before. And up this close now, you can definitely tell this 10-foot tall creature with like these giant antlers on it, very much that's like a deer, with a face of what used to be a deer in between the chunks of flesh that have fallen away. But its bodily shape seems to be a mixture of deer and human. And you can see like where the flesh has been almost torn, as if this thing, as if the bones and everything have extended beyond what they initially had been, is almost what it looks like. You can't make heads or tails of exactly how this may have happened, but it is definitely odd to say the least.
It's definitely not a normal beast. I need to get this out of here. I do not have any spells for that though. Unless hold person? No.
At that point,
We'll
the
just...
Dryad will come up to you and kind of observing all of this. And will look down to you and says in Sylvan, we can remove this for you if you wish.
Please, something is... First these spots appearing, and now this. This is not right. I will look for Trina. He might have some more knowledge of this. And again, thank you for your help.
No problem, Spot. We shall try to take care of this. The last we saw of Tree Nut, he was up in the north, but we're not sure if he's still there or not. As for you, after you speak with Tree Nut, I'd recommend going to go see your sister. We may need all the help we can get.
Indeed. I will hurry up, check on Mama Bear and Shade.
Yep, you can see that Shade in particular has these giant claw scratches that goes across his back, and he's limping a little bit as he had taken quite a beating. Mama Bear seems to be a little bit more on edge and is kind of like sniffing at the wasps and things like that. But all in all, outside of that, she seems to be perfectly fine.
Don't worry, it's fine for now. Go to your cups. They need you now. Well, I was about to say I was about to move up to Shade, and I will use Cure Wounds on him to heal some of the claw marks that he has.
Nice. Yep. And as after you had told Mama Bear that, she heads on back over to her burrow to double check on her cubs, make sure that they're all well. And you cast Cure Wounds on Shade there, managing to patch up a little chunk there, and you can see the flesh kind of start to stitch up together a little bit. Did you want the spell to look like anything in particular, by the way?
No.
No? Okay. Yeah, you can see them kind of start to stitch back up together, and you managed to stop them from bleeding and everything, but you can definitely see the 3 distinct marks still visible across his back.
Okay, Shade, you stay here with Mama Bear, protect the tree. Protect our home. I will go to Tree Nut and see what is happening here.
You can see that Shade looks a little unhappy after everything that's happened, but kind of slowly walks on off and heads over towards Mama Bear.
I will start darting up towards the north.
Okay. Yep, you head on up north. Okay. And you get up into the area where you typically find, Tree Nut at. And you notice that in this particular area, you could almost sense sense the trees themselves. There almost seems to be like a shiver in the air, more or less, as even though there's no wind, you can see that the trees almost have like the shake to them. And off in the distance, you can kind of hear Tree Nut, calm down, calm down. There's nothing to be afraid of. And as you come around the bend there, you can see Tree Nut desperately trying to, like, seems like to try to almost, like, calm his herd, so to speak.
I'll just see him. Tree Nut, there you are. Thank goodness. Quickly go over.
Oh, Master Spot. Something isn't quite right. The trees seem agitated.
Yeah, something weird is happening. We fought a mutated, half-dead elk that attacked our tree. We managed to beat it with the help of the Dryad and Shade. Do you have any idea what is happening here?
I am not sure. I wonder if it has any relation to those sites out west. You kind of see him like scratch at his chin now with his massive barked hand. I think I shall try to look into matters where I can. And in the meantime, I think it might be wise you go seek out Lady Dot.
Indeed.
I shall try to bring some of my herd to your home to ensure its safety in the meantime.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
There isn't time to waste, it sounds like. You must go now.
I will. Be safe, Trina. I'll dart off east.
And you as well, he says as you head on off east, heading as hard as you can towards Great Snake River Town, where you know Dot to be at. Okay. So, 2 days later, after Spot's encounter in the forest, but 2 days prior to current events, down in Great Snake River Town, the town itself is still reeling from an orc attack that have happened a day before. There's damage everywhere, many people have died, and even more so have been injured. That being said, though, the Bounty Hunters Guild itself is more focused than ever and trying to be more prepared than anything else. In case of any other weird things, such as that orc attack, were to come up, they wish to be more prepared for that particular instance. In the training area of the Bounty Hunters Hall itself, a large setup of this obstacle course has been put into place, with many boards that are set up everywhere, designed to throw knives or to do combat with. And down at what appears to be the starting line, there is 2 figures that stand there. The first one being Dot, all dressed up in this, well, actually, Dot, well, go ahead and, would you like to describe how your character looks now after a year? What it is that you're wearing and...
Well, I think the biggest thing, well, outfit-wise, I guess, is that she now has a flower that she kind of tucks behind one of her little ear tufts. It's a preserved fire lily. Kind of goes really well with the rest of her colors. And she's kind of currently just wearing like some leather armor and has like a little kind of Eastern Asian inspired robe kind of over it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Lack of a better term.
Okay, then. Yep. Walking over to you is a little kobold, a little red kobold, who is dressed up in this black attire with a couple of like leathery pauldrons up on either shoulder, decked out to the nines with knives and like throwing knives, and has a rapier down on his side, and he keeps his hood up over his head, and he's got these little slits in the hood where his ears kind of stick out the back of it. All right, Dot. It is time for you to run the obstacle course again. I think by now you've more or less got the general gist, but I'll give you a quick walkthrough on it again. Start here, and you'll see your first target directly ahead. Hammer that target hard, take cover where the fallen benches are. Move on up to the second target on the far right. Once that target is down, use the cover of the bench, or the bar front here, that's right next to the benches. Use distance attacks to take out these 2 targets on the other side. Go around and up to that far left corner there. Get in and hide behind the fallen over table. Once you're hidden, use that time to be able to sneak up and take down the next 2 targets. Once they're down, you're going to sneak again around to the other table, hide here, and then take down the last 2 targets. Everything makes sense?
Yes, sir. Gotcha. Loud and clear.
Remember, it's timed. The faster you do this, the better.
I'm going for the record breaker here.
Do me proud now.
I'll try.
Okay, and so with that, he kind of posts up, and he's got this almost like little hourglass It's really tiny. It's probably just big enough to hold about 5 minutes worth of grains in it.
Mm.
When I tell you to, complete the obstacle course. Ready, set, and go. And with that, you launch in to start your obstacle course.
Alright, so these are all long range he wants me to use?
So what he wants to do is that the first 2, he wants those to be short range. So you got to get up on them, hit them with like your rapier. Once you now the first one is just an open attack. The second one he wants you to try to do a sneak attack using the benches as cover. Once you take that one down, use ranged attacks to take out the next 2 there. And then after you take those 2 down, you sneak around up onto this far corner here.
Yes.
And then you try to do a sneak attack on the next 2 there.
Yes.
And once those 2 go down, then you come around to this other table here, and then try to do ranged attacks using your sneak on those as well.
Alright.
Okay. Any questions?
Nope, I think I'm good. Alright, so this first one should be good.
Okay. So this is going to operate in the sense of it being similar to like you taking turns, but it's just more or less what can you do inside of a single turn each time.
Yeah.
And that'll be more or less how we keep track of the time of how long it takes you to complete this.
Yes.
Okay, so ready whenever you are.
Yeah, so I'll do the first one. It's 20 movement, and I'll... Oh no, please. Please rolls. Okay.
Nice. You come in quick and fast, sprinting up to this first one and plunge your rapier into that first target, and it falls right over. No problems whatsoever. Alright, that is your first turn there.
Yeah. Wait, can I take the rest of my movement?
Yeah, you said it was 20 there, so you had 10 feet of movement left, yep.
Yeah, so that's there. So the next...
Don't worry, I got rid of most of the bad rolls. You got this.
Alright, so now remember that he wanted you to try to sneak up on this next target.
Yes. So I guess that would mean like kind of going around?
Right.
How low are these benches? Like, can I...
With your size, you could easily be able to like stand behind one of these and not be seen. But you still need to do like more or less a stealth check for me.
Okay. Yeah. But I want to like kind of, I guess, go around them, I guess. So it'd be like this, I think, right?
If you would like to do that, yeah.
Yeah. And then I'll hide. I think it was here.
Okay.
So that's the stealth.
Alright. So with your 13 there on your stealth, Kage gives a nodding, or like an approving nod there as you tuck in behind this bench.
Yeah.
Right. That's your next turn there.
Yes. So then I'll come around the backside, hit it with the rapier.
Okay. See the rapier? Nice. Yep. And that one easily falls on down to the ground there.
Yes.
Okay.
And then...
And that would have technically been with advantage because you did have the hide work the first time, but you really don't need it. Okay. Yeah. So the next is, again, try to... Yep, you're going to do ranged on that one, but you're trying to hide on those as well.
I think... What was it? The swapping weapons? Is it free action to drop and pull out?
Free action is to drop your rapier and you'll be able to pull out your other weapon, but if you want to pick your weapon up, you'll need to go back to the square where you dropped it to pick it up.
Yes.
If you want to actually swap weapons, I'll say it takes a bonus action to do.
Sure. I'll use that as a bonus, and then the action to hide behind... This is a bar, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll bonus action to swap to the longbow that I have. Action to hide behind here, so another stealth.
Very nice. Okay. Alright, so that ends that turn there. You are now hidden away from both of these targets.
Okay. I'll hit the further one?
Okay.
I think.
Alright. You go and you release a shot coming over the top of the bar there. Yeah, you can actually roll that again because you do have the advantage. There you go.
better.
Pop on up over the bar top there, launch out another arrow, and that bottom one falls down to the ground as the arrow pierces right next to the bullseye. Okay. Quick question for you: do you have extra attack?
I do. So I'm gonna hit that top one now.
All right, let's do another one.
This, I think
that
would
one's
not
also
have.
with advantage because it's an extra attack.
How is it 3 11s?
Okay.
What the heck?
All right, so you double back and you do another launch with your arrow onto the second one here. This one, though, from your quick adjustment there, you end up hitting it low near the bottom where the base is at. It hasn't quite fallen over yet.
Okay. So I guess on the next turn, I'll
Yep.
go to hit it again.
Very nice.
I'll take that.
Yep. You knock that one down. You still have your movement you could use before you end that turn.
Okay. So I'll be here.
Yep. Okay.
And then after that, I'll be here.
Okay.
And then he wants me to hide again, I think, right?
Yes.
So that's another...
Another stealth.
Mm.
Very nice. Okay,
And
you are
then-
hidden away from these two targets here.
And I'm supposed to come back around and hit it, I think?
Yep, they want you to come around the backside if you can and try to take both of them out at the same time if you can.
Sure.
So you have 30 feet of total movement there. If you're able to get in between the two of them, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so I'll go around. Use the bonus action to swap again. Hit
Okay.
the left one, with the rapier.
Yeah, that one easily falls over as you slash into it with your rapier.
And then extra attack on the right one.
Very nice. And you blast through that one as well. Just a quick swing, swing as you cut both of them down.
Then don't. You're not supposed to mention it, because now I'm gonna stop critting.
Yep. And now these last two, he wants you to do ranged as well.
Yeah. So on my way over, I'll. Oh, wait. I'm not sure where. Yes. I think that should be on the same turn. I'll swap again to the bow. And then when I come over here, I'll hide.
All right.
No,
See that
stop
stealth?
jinxing it. No!
All right. You come up around this table here, and as you were swapping out for your bow, you managed to successfully swap out for your bow, but you instead end up tripping on the leg of that table that's flipped over, and you kind of do a face plant there. And Kage kind of shakes his head a little bit. He's like, "Get back up! Get back up! Go for it!"
I'll get back up. Do I have to try and hide again?
Yep. Okay.
Stop it.
Yep,
God
that time-
damn it, brutal.
That time you managed to be able to tuck in nice and tight, bow at the ready, and kind of compose yourself there. Just like try to more or less talk to yourself. It's like, okay, it wasn't a big deal. I just lost a little bit of time. I still got this. Next turn.
Alright, so this would be with advantage, I think, right? Because I'm
Yes, it
hidden?
would be advantage because you're hidden.
Alright, the left one first.
Nice.
Back to the crits.
Easily blast that one on the left down.
And then the one on the right.
Yes. Yep, and same thing with that one as well. You easily knock that one on down. And you have the last of your movement to get back to Kage.
Ayy, just enough.
Okay, and with that, he stops the hourglass and holds it sideways so that way the grains don't fall anymore. Let me do this real quick. Okay. And with that, he stops and he looks at it for a moment. And then he looks down, or looks, yeah, actually, it still would be down towards you. 1 minute and 12 seconds. Almost a new record.
Darn it.
It's that little trip up at the end there. If you had managed to get around that, you would have set the new record. Which is pretty impressive considering that the Employee of the Month currently holds the record.
How far off was I? How many seconds? How close was it?
Literally 6 seconds.
Oh
So
my god.
you pretty much almost matched the Employee of the Month's time. If you didn't have the trip up at the end, you would have had the new record.
Darn. Next time. I'm gonna remember that corner next time.
Well, all in all, not too bad. I think you've been learning quite a bit. You've become very handy, I think, as far as being able to hide yourself, and I think you would be a great asset to any team that you get put on. Now it's time to test out your combat abilities. Valtak! And Kage calls out outside of where this little arena is at, and you see a blue dragonborn stand up from a little bench over near where the door is at, and he comes to step forward. And put him up here. And he is a 6'6" tall dragonborn. He is kind of in a similar sense dressed up kind of like how Kage is, with like a hood up and cloaked up. He carries a rapier down on his side as well. And you can see a short bow that's on his back and a dagger tucked away on his side. Alright, let's see how much you've learned, Dot. Time for our 1v1.
Okay, and I'm like, with the height difference, I'm like literally having to strain my neck just to look up at this guy and give him a little wave, like, hey, how's it going? Please go easy on me. Please go easy on me.
I won't hold back if you won't hold back. I want a good fight.
Me too. And I'll hold out my hand for, like, so we can shake on it, you know?
Yep, he has to come down onto one knee there and uses, like, his first 2 fingers and, like, a little thumb there that, you know, have these big claws on them, and tries to shake your hand as gently as he can.
I'll give him a nice firm handshake.
You know that Valtak is a newer member with the Bounty Hunters Guild, but has shown much promise. Alright, Valtak, off to your starting point. And then with that, Valtak gives Kage a nod, and then he heads over to the other side of the arena to get started. You would know that your start point is here. And the way the obstacle course and everything is set up, it is very much meant for you guys to try to utilize it as much as you can during the combat.
But since I knocked over, like, all the targets, are those on the ground still?
Kage looks over to you. Get into the ready position. I'll have everything set up in just a moment. And then he quickly begins to scurry around to each of the targets, and he goes to stand them all back up. Takes him about a minute, as you just see him scurry on all fours and prop each of them back up, and then comes back down to here. All right. He's not bad with a blade. He's pretty, well, even with him being green, he's still pretty talented. But that being said, I think you should be able to take him out pretty easily, I think. Use your cover, use your training, and you should be fine.
Gotcha.
Alright, up to the starting point. Which was here.
Okay.
Alright. I will be refereeing, sort of, shall we say. Don't try to go too crazy. Obviously, we still need you both, so don't actually try to kill each other. But, when I give you the go, let's get this done. And with that, he kind of holds his hands up into the air. Ready, and go! Claps his hands together. And let's have us roll initiative. And here you are. Okay. Nice. Dot, you managed to just edge him out. You get to go first.
Okay. These targets, how tall and wide are they? As in, can I hide behind them?
Yes, you could be able to hide behind them, as they're designed to be about normal humanoid size. So they're about 4 or 5 feet tall, about 3 feet wide.
Okay. He's quite a number distances away. I'm gonna head off to this one right here,
Okay.
and I want to hide.
Okay, let's see that stealth. 13. Unfortunately, your 13 is just not quite enough, as you
Eesh.
see his eyes track you up to that point, and you're trying to utilize the coverage as best as you can.
It's fine, it's fine. I think that was 20
Yep.
feet, right? So I'll just scooch over here to this one then for full 30.
Okay. Does that end your turn?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, up next is Faltac. Faltac sees what you've done here, and he is going to move right. There we go. 4, 5, 6. And he is going to try to hide this time.
Oh my
And
god.
you see him just vanish behind the bar over here. You're not even really sure exactly where he went. He just poof, it seems like.
Okay. Not great. I'm gonna head off to this one over here, and I'm gonna try and hide behind this one.
Okay, let's see that stealth. Very nice. Yep, with that, you almost disappear into the shadows, as this area is actually kind of dimly lit a little bit, and you are able to successfully hide behind that target.
Okay.
Does that end your turn?
I guess while hidden, I want to try to I'm trying to think. Sorry. So trying to think if I want to try and go around to find him.
You used up how much of your movement already?
20. So
so
I'm
you got
trying to
10
think
feet
if I
of
want to
movement
use my. Yeah, I'm trying to decide if I want to use my action too, but.
Well, you
How
used
tall
your
is the
action to
bar?
hide.
Oh yeah, true. How tall is the bar?
The bar itself is about 4 feet tall.
Perfect! If I go right up behind it, he won't be able to see me.
Right.
Alright, that's the rest of my movement.
Okay, then. Alright, so with that, let me do something on my end. Okay. And you see, just barely, as you're kind of like trying to peek over the top of the bar here, you see his head kind of poke out as he's got his short bow drawn and ready and trying to aim at the spot where he last saw you, but doesn't see you anywhere. And let me just do something on my end real quick. He has no idea where you are, so he holds an action for now.
Oh shoot.
That shall be your turn now.
I want to come over to here
Okay.
and pull out my bow. I think I still have it.
You would have had your
Out,
bow
right?
still. Yeah, you would have had your bow still out from the end of the last go around.
Yes. I'm gonna try to hit him then.
Okay. Let's see about that attack. It will be with advantage because you were able to successfully hide.
Cool. I don't need to use the other thing.
Nice. You let loose an arrow going right over the top of that fallen bench there, and it pierces up into his shoulder. He took 6 points of damage. Very nice.
And I'll go again with the...
Did you have your sneak attack damage with that as well?
Oh, I did not. Oh shoot. I'm gonna need to set that up later, but for now I'll manually roll it. I think it's just 1d6.
Okay, for an extra 4 points of damage. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'd like to shoot him again with the extra attack.
Okay, let's see that extra attack. Nice. You quickly be able to pull out another arrow and string it and launch it out at him, dealing another 10 points of damage to him as this one now pierces low in his back. He is actually not looking that great right now, as you got him real good there that time.
Okay.
Does that end your turn?
Yes.
Okay. Double check something real quick.
I don't think I have anything left to use.
Okay. He is going to turn back around to you, and seeing what you have just done here, he is going to puff up his cheeks. And he is going to launch a lightning breath at you.
Is that gonna reach? Oh my god.
It is a 5 foot by 30 foot range.
Oh my god, just...
So he can just reach you. Let me just
No.
double check real quick. Okay, it will require a dexterity saving throw from you. Let me double check on what that is. That is going to be a DC 16. You had just managed to be able to make the save on that. Excuse me. So that will be half damage instead. Let me just double check what I need to roll there, because I actually forgot to set it up in this sheet. Actually, no. It was a 8 plus that. Okay. So that was actually... Oh yeah, you easily were able to dodge the worst of the damage on that. I may just double check what it is for. It is... there it is, 2d6. Okay. Right. Okay, so you take 4 points of lightning damage as he uses his dragon breath on you. Or his lightning breath on you. And then with that, what he is going to do, he is now going to try to move away from you. 3, 4, 5, 6, and he is going to try to get behind this cover here as best as he can. He currently, from your current position here, he has full cover right now, but he doesn't have he can't use the stealth that you had been using earlier. It is now your go.
Okay. Well, I think I'd have to go kind of around-ish.
Yep.
Here. And... okay. Let me check something really quick.
Mm-hmm.
How's he looking? You said he looked a little hurt, like...
Yeah, he's looking pretty hurt. He's up on his feet and everything, but yeah, you can definitely tell that he's hurt.
Alright, I'm gonna be like, sorry about this, and I'm gonna shoot him again.
Okay. Oh yeah, that definitely hits. Oof, that was a big chunk right there. Very nice. Yeah, and this next arrow, as he sees you come around the corner, he's like, what? And he just blasts him in the chest there with that next arrow. He looks like he's barely standing right now. With your passive perception here, after you had made that shot, you notice somebody come in through the main entrance there. A tall lady dressed up in blue armor with black and blue hair, and kind of stands off to the side watching the fight.
I'll, my eyes kind of dart over, see her, but then they kind of immediately go back, and focus on Dragonborn.
Mm-hmm.
You know, gotta stay focused in this moment. No distractions.
Right.
That will be my turn.
You didn't want to use your extra attack?
Oh, but he looks hurt. I don't wanna... I don't wanna kill him. It's a little hard with arrows, you know?
Right.
Does it look like if I shoot another arrow, how can I judge to see if he'll be able to still be on his feet or not?
How about because you have noticed this other person coming, someone you didn't recognize from the Bounty Hunters Guild, give me a perception check.
Oh.
With a 13. Okay. So with your 13 there, he definitely looks like he's pretty weakened. You're pretty confident that another arrow could probably do the job, but you're not 100% sure. It's one of those, like, maybe it will, maybe it won't. You're not, like I said, you're not exactly 100% sure.
Okay, I'll do another one. Oh.
All right, and so with your second arrow that you launch out at him, he manages to just in the very last second duck down as this arrow flies high over him.
Okay.
Is that in your turn?
Yes.
Okay, Faltak's turn is next. He drops his short bow, pulls out his rapier, and as almost what appears to be a last-ditch effort, charges straight at you. And he is going to swing with his rapier. Does a 15 hit?
No!
Okay. He slings wildly at you with his rapier, but unfortunately, because of your size and everything else, you manage to easily dodge out of the way of his rapier. Oh, excuse me. And double checking stuff real quick. And that is actually all he can do there. You see him breathing very heavily as he's trying to swing wildly at you right now. It is now your turn.
Alright. I will also drop my bow and pull out my rapier. I want to use the hilt of it, I guess, to kind of try and knock him out.
Okay.
No, I don't want to
go non-lethal.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see your attack then. Nice. With you using your hilt there. Yeah, with you using your hilt there, instead of the blade end, you kind of like, instead of fully pulling your blade out of its sheath, you pull it up just enough to where it's like above your head, and using your wings to help give you the extra oomph you need for your jump here, you just blast straight up into this guy's chin, knocking him back onto his back, and he is unconscious. You defeated Faltak.
I'm gonna kind of come up to him, look over at him, look at Kage and be like, he's gonna be fine, right?
I'm on it. I'm on it. And he like runs on up and sees the arrows that are in him and gives you an approving nod. Wouldn't expect anything less. And he starts pulling out the arrows and starting to fill them in with poultices and everything else like that. Seems like you have a visitor. Kind of nods with his head as he's tending to the wounds here. And the lady in blue armor walks up into the training area, who's kind of lightly clapping her hands together after that performance. Brutal, would you like to introduce your character to Dot?
Yeah, so before you see a tall woman, seems human, black hair, tied up with a red sort of, what do you call it, like a headband, kind of, that's tying her hair back tightly into a large, what do you call it?
Ponytail?
Yeah, those. Ponytail, thank you. Had a brain fart moment. Yeah, so the ponytail, you can see that the bottom of the hair has that blue, that deep blue tint, whereas the rest of the hair is black, and then the front of her hair again sprouts out into this blue color. She's got silver, blue, and small remnants of green scattered throughout her armor. Would she recognize the armor, actually?
Yes, you would actually recognize it to be part of the Nightcore attire. With the blue and with just the time that you spent in the cities recently, you know that this blue is very much meant to represent the Honor Guard, which is considered to be the elite of the Nightcore. They typically stay up at the castle, though.
Okay. And then on her left pauldron, you can see a giant lion pauldron attached with fur and stuff embedded into it. And I think that's everything. She wouldn't have her helmet with her at this time, so. But yeah, as Dahlia approaches, she'll say, "Allow me," and she'll put her hand down and cast Cure Wounds on the nearly unconscious figure on the ground.
Okay, let me see Cure Wounds.
Okay. There we go.
Nice.
Oh, sorry, that's set to GM for some reason.
Yep, that's 8 points there. Very nice. Yep, you put down your hand. Did you want it to look like anything?
The usual. So it'll be, in this case, it'll be large amounts of blue and white energy mixed with like an overlay, a tint of black.
Okay. Yep, you see this bluish white with that tint of black energy build up around her hand and begin to stitch away at the open wounds from the arrowheads. And Valtek starts to come back to his senses, and he looks over at Kage. Did I win? And Kage just gives him like the shake of his head. You need more training. Ugh. And he just kind of falls back and like bangs his head on the floor. Fine.
I'll kind of hold out my hand to kind of give him a hand up. I don't know how much of a hand I can give because I'm so short, but you know.
Do you want to give me a strength check real quick?
Oh boy. No.
Yeah, you try desperately to like hold him by the hand and try to drag him back up, and even Kage tries to help you get him back up onto his feet. And the best that you two working together are able to do is just get him to a sitting up position. You can't actually get him onto his feet by any stretch.
I'll turn it from trying to pull him up to a very awkward pat on the shoulder. And be like, I mean, you know, you did kind of, I didn't catch you there for a second there, you know, you're getting a bit better.
I guess I need more training. Kage looks at him. Damn straight you do. Get back on the obstacle course.
Smidge. Just a smidge.
And with that, he kind of begrudgingly gets back up onto his feet and he heads back over to where the start position is to run the obstacle course again. Meanwhile, Kage will look to you and to the tall woman here. Let's go to my office. Got some things that we need to talk about.
Indeed.
And with that, Kage leads you three on out of the space, headed towards where his office is at. And let me drag you guys over real quick to here. There we go. And let me shift ping you guys. Actually, on this layer. My bad. Shift ping. There we go. Should more or less bring you guys on top of the Bounty Hunters Guild here for now. As you guys are coming out of where the little training area is, getting ready to head towards Kage's office, the front door bursts open. But because of the giant counter that separates from where you guys just came out at, the only person who can see who's standing at the door is Dahlia because of her height. You see another Owlin-looking creature, very similar to Dot here, huffing and puffing as hard as he can at the entryway of this door. He's like, and yeah, and do you wish to say anything as you see this, what appears to be a very exhausted bird just burst through the front door?
Looks back at the other Ellen that was following us and says, "Oh Lord, there's two of them now."
Wait, did she say that out loud?
Yeah.
Did I hear?
Yeah.
Hey, two of them.
Two of them. Two. Spy.
Ah, well, yeah. It's fucking runs around the corner.
She'll also run around the corner. Spy, brother. It's been so long.
Thank God I found you. I need your help. Back home.
Back home? What's wrong? Actually, wait. What are you doing here? Why are you not at home?
Trina and the rest are protecting the home. We got attacked by some kind of dead deer.
What?
Which, I don't know, it created some kind of fog. It smelled fucking horrible. We barely made it, so...
Perhaps this conversation might be better had behind closed doors, Kage says, like seeing how visibly stressed you seem to be, and gestures over to a little a doorway that's off to the left-hand side, which you can see that he's got a plaque on there that's got his name on it. This way. And you should follow along as well there, Captain.
I'm coming. After you, Kage.
Yep. He scurries on over and pushes the door open, which you notice is kind of one of those, like, half doors, where it's, you know how you see, like, some of them where it's, like, you could open the door, but at, like, 2 different sections. And you see, like, the bottom half he pushes open first, and just inside you can see, like, there's a little ladder, and he goes up and he unlocks the top half and opens that up so Dahlia could walk in.
Give us a bit of a sigh as she walked in.
Yep. And inside, there's a small fireplace off to the side, tons of books and all sorts of parchments all over a desktop, or not a desktop, a desk. And you can see there's like all sorts of different contracts and things like that Kage has been working on, trying to, you know, manage the place as best as he can. And after everybody steps on inside, he closes the door, makes sure that it's locked, kind of like looks through a little peephole that's, you know, on the bottom level there to see if there's anybody outside, before coming back over and pulling the chair out from where behind the desk is at and offering it to you, Dahlia.
Before sitting down, she'll sort of rummage around with the contracts a little bit. Just not really like eyeballing any of them in particular, just moving them around a little bit. And we'll say, you appear to be as busy as ever.
Always something that needs to be done.
Indeed. And she'll take a seat.
Then Kage will scurry his way up on top of the desk there and kind of sit at the edge in between where you guys are, and gestures his arm out to you, Spot and Dot, to where there's a couple other chairs just on the other side. Take the moment to sit down. It seems like you're having quite the issue here there, little winged friend. And
thank you.
Would you like to...
I'll have a minute. I'm Spot. I'm Dot's brother, if she hasn't mentioned it.
Yes, I've heard. Kind of giving Dot a look.
I kind of give like a little shrug back. Before sitting down, Dot's going to kind of like, you know, wearily kind of flit around Spot and be like, "Are you hurt? Are you okay? Where? How bad is it?" She's going to kind of like lift arms and wings and kind of look around to see if there's like any injuries, I guess. How are the cubs, the bears, Shade, archery?
Me and Shade took a little beating, but we're fine. The cops are all good. Mama Bear protected them. Whatever.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. Where was I? Massive deer looked dead, moved, and I'm at loss for words. Also, some kind of like the hornets that came with it.
I'm guessing this doesn't match any description that I would be aware of.
No, it does not.
It sounds to me, little one, like you're lucky to be alive.
Oh well, I had some help. But yeah, indeed.
Kage then...
We roughly made it.
Yep. Kage then, after hearing what you had to say, looks over to you, Dahlia. Seems like things might have gotten a little more complicated.
Perhaps. Well, if what I'm thinking is true, then perhaps I could use both of these individuals.
Perhaps.
I was just here for this one, though. This is the one you told me about, correct?
Yes. May not be my employee of the month, but definitely my next runner-up for sure. I think she'll serve you very well. And then Kage looks over to Dot.
Dot, hearing those words, kind of puffs up a little bit, you know, floofs her feathers.
Yep. And Kage will look at you, Dot. You're getting your first mission by yourself. Well, actually, it looks like to be Based on what the captain here is saying, you and your brother might both be going in on this one. You'll be the first one without me, though.
Oh, wait, what? What is happening here?
I shall let the captain discuss the details. I've got my own records of everything, but I'll give you three some privacy in the meantime. And with that, he jumps down off the top of the desk and then scurries back over to where the door is at and lets himself out.
It seems like you made a name for yourself, but I don't quite understand the situation.
I'm not quite sure either. She's kind of holding Spot's hand and kind of gives it a firm squeeze. Let's listen to the lady.
Before saying anything, Dahlia will go over to the main door and ensure that it's locked and that Kage is definitely gone.
Okay, you want to do a perception check real quick?
Joke. I thought I had perception set up, but I don't. That sucks. Sorry. Perception. There we go.
Yep. Okay.
Oh, that's not supposed to be advantage.
Yeah, even with that 15 there, you like listen up against the door and you even squat down to where the little peephole is at and you look outside. Kage seems to actually be pretty respectful. He has scurried on off. And you see like just the tail end of him going back into where the training area is, assumedly to go back and train up Faltac some more.
Alright. I will just use the latches on the door, lock them securely. Return to the chair, sit down. My name is Dahlia. Dahlia Shadowhand. I work for the Queen, her advisor and the captain of the guard. I'm here to hire you for a mission. Should you accept, it will be perilous, but you will be working with another group. Are you aware of the migrations from other cities, other villages?
Yes, I
Yes.
quite a lot of them myself as well.
Well, have you heard some of the rumors that they've been saying?
No, I tend to stick for myself.
I see. Well, from what we've heard so far, there's talk of dead land, barren, where life used to exist, possible creature corruption, otherworldly activity. I need someone to find out exactly what's happening and report back.
Sounds easy enough to do.
Well,
Also,
it's...
too on point.
What do you mean?
mentioned unnatural, like, I mean, the dead spots are... I've seen a lot of those as well. It's mostly desert. It gives off sickish aura. Is that what you are referring to here?
You've witnessed this.
Yes, a few times.
Interesting.
Is it
Not really
in our
apparent.
home?
Luckily, not yet. I have spotted some of them on the more outskirts.
That's still a little bit too close for comfort.
Indeed. And this creature I fought, it sounded like something you mentioned there? Well, similar to it.
You think these are possibly linked?
Well, it did use detect magic on one of the, well, decaying corpses, I think it is the best way to describe it. And they do give off a necrotic energy.
See. Well, your information is valuable. I would advise you share it with the other group as soon as you can. Hopefully you will meet them shortly. One of the objectives for me is to find out who is the cause of this. What may be, doing this to the surrounding area. And if it's possible, find out who's responsible, and if it's another kingdom. Because if this is an attack from someone, we need to know who it is so we can launch an effective counterattack. We also may require your assistance in that forte as well, though I would much prefer if my Night Corps were available for that instead. And keep in mind, you will be working under the decree of the Queen, so for now, we would like to keep that secret, so try to be subtle. Does this sound like something you could accomplish?
Yes.
I came here initially to figure out some kind of way, maybe get my sister back to home to help, but this seems a little more pressing. Eh?
A little. It sounds similar as well, though. If we can figure out, I guess, the root cause of things, then surely it'll help with things at home, right?
This is gonna sound a bit rude, miss. Do you have any other information that you might be able to share?
Not currently. We're working on limited information because it's been difficult to spread out that far. The last I heard, by the way, the other group, they left Jewel Harbor earlier today.
I'm sorry, they left to go to Jewel Harbor earlier today.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, they left to go to Jewel Harbor. So if you rush there, you may meet them.
Well, I will leave this decision up to my sister. You seem to know these people a lot more than I do. I'm not gonna lie here. I will trust you on this.
I think we should go. I think we should do it. If we can figure out what's going on, maybe we can help things at home later on. That's what I'm thinking.
Very well. Dahlia, was it? You will have my assistance then. Or
Splendid.
how much I can give it.
Should you find enough information quick enough, we do have something of a time crunch. You will be rewarded for it. And perhaps in time we can find a way to assist you with your home. Where is your home?
That won't be necessary. We got a lot of friends helping protect it. What? The elk, though? The corpse, I might be able to arrange to have it brought here. If you said you wanted information about this.
You can get me this corpse?
I can communicate with the people who dragged it away and see if they can maybe leave it at a designated location, since it's supposed to be secretive.
I see. Give me a second. I'm gonna head out to see if Kage is around somewhere.
Okay. Based off of where you last saw him, headed off towards like where that training area was at, you go and unlock the door. You head back out and you go towards that direction, and you see him just like drilling the crap out of Faltak, like faster, faster. Faltak
It seems to me this
desperately trying to keep up with his commands.
Seems to me this Faltak, is it? Has a ways to go.
He shows
Kage,
promise.
how do you feel about doing a delivery for me?
I could arrange that.
Very well. I'm going to have a package sent to this place. I need it secured without the knowledge of anyone in town.
Interesting. And what about payment?
I will see to it that you are rewarded for this. Personally.
Very well. I definitely do appreciate that. And once you conclude your business with Dot, I'll be in there to discuss details with you about amounts and the as far as any kind of plans or arrangements that need to be made to get the delivery done.
That sounds perfect. Thank you.
He gives you a nod and goes, looks back to the Faltech thinking that you're done. Didn't I say go faster? No, you're tripping all over everything. Get up, get up.
Next time, put her up against a bigger threat. This guy seems like a bumpkin, and I'll turn and leave.
Okay. Yeah, with that, you leave out of that training area and you go back over to Kage's office where Spot and Dot are still sitting.
Well, that covers that. If you can get your friends or whatever to send the corpse here, preferably well wrapped and as preserved as possible. Kage has agreed to sort the rest out.
It is quite large. So I don't... It's gonna be a little difficult getting it into the city without notice. Would somewhere in front of the walls suffice?
Yes, if we could discuss it with Kage, perhaps we could come up with some form of arrangement.
Perfect.
With that, I think I'll call Kage in. Actually, this seems like one of those things that needs to be sorted out now.
Okay then. Yep. You go back out and ask for Kage to come back, and you see him just kind of scurry on all fours back into his office there, and gets back up on top of the desk where he was earlier. All right. Sounds like details there needed.
Well, apparently this thing is big, so...
How big we talking?
Looks towards Spot.
Roughly the size of a young tree.
Looks back at Kage.
Jesus.
So if we can get this thing dropped off near the walls, can you get it in?
I think that might be arranged. Might have to see about a cart or something like that. Help obscure it as best as possible. Should be a nice little grove of trees, and just outside on the other side of the bridge, tucked away into the tree line. That'd be a really good spot where we could be able to meet up at. And he's Dot, you would actually know where he's talking about, as you've been over to that spot before where he's done his normal meetups. You know, it's here we go. You know, it's this corner here that he's referring to. There we go.
Well, I will see that my friends will deliver it then.
All right. Furious typing.
Yes, I gotta get something sent out real quick.
Keyboard warrior.
There we go. Okay. Yep, Kage actually then goes and pulls out a map here, so that way you could be able to see it as well, Dahlia, and points out to the little location just outside of the city. And that way you could also see it as well, Spot, as he gestures with a claw on his finger and points on the map. Right here. It's a nice little secluded spot, great for doing meetups with the Bounty Hunters Guild. Think if your party could get this thing to here, we could be able to take care of the rest. And
the tree line is close enough. Yeah, that should work.
And what would you like for us to do with this package once it's in our possession?
Hold on to it until I return for it. Make sure it stays out of hands of anyone else. And if you can, try to avoid looking at it yourself. I want to examine this personally, and I don't want it to be corrupted by other hands. No offense.
And that Kage kind of like almost has like a offensive look, and he just kind of looks at his hands like, what's wrong with my hands?
Well, I should mention that it smells.
Well, that can make things complicated. Might have to go over to the maybe go over to the trade district, see if I could find some stuff that might help cover up the smell. Some perfumes or something. If that is okay with you, Captain.
Very well. And she'll drop a pouch of 20 gold on the table. This should cover your expenses, I suppose.
That should be enough to cover the cost of the perfume. Well, if there's unless there's anything else, Dot, Captain, I suggest for Dot and her brother here to make sure that they're stocked up on whatever they may need. Maybe go see the merchant before heading out.
Also, take these, and she'll give small letters to each of you with brief descriptions of the individuals you're looking for.
Yeah, you'll also notice that on those letters that you guys are handed, that they have the Night Court insignia on them, which is a shield that has green, red, and blue striping done on it with a lion skull in the middle. And in that letter, there's also a description that from Dahlia herself saying that you guys have been tasked out to join up with the party.
Present these, and the group should accept you, hopefully. If there's any trouble, I will be around, so I'm sure your group has ways to make contact, and if need be, will ask me personally. I will give you the go-ahead.
Oh. Sounds good. Oh.
You're muted. There you go.
Yes. She's just gonna look at the letter, try to remember some of the details before tucking it away.
Okay.
The details of the individuals.
Okay, yeah. In the description of the individuals, you know that you're looking for a tall woman that is described with dirty blonde hair, honey-colored eyes, and carries a big shield and a long sword with her. You know a description of a half-elf man with goldish blonde hair, piercing eyes, also carries a shield and a rapier. You get a description of a man of the cloth who's got more tan skin, a little bit balding, older gentleman, carries a shield and prefers to fight with his fists. A description of a man who dresses in gold, a half-orc looking fellow who's got a quirky sense of humor, and another half-elf that also has kind of a palish skin with like a very, very, very slight tan, dark hair, and wears typically leather armor on hold. Doesn't seem to usually fight with weapons, as it seems to be a more of a mage or like a mage type individual.
Before we leave, Dot, is it? Do you mind if we speak in private?
She kind of gives a quick glance over to Spot. Goes, sure.
I will take a short rest outside and recover from the travel a bit.
Okay.
Recover from running.
Yep. So with that,
I mean, I'm at half health, so yeah.
well,
Recover
it's been 2 days, so I would say that you're back to everything, back to full on everything. But you're just, you were just exhausted from because you were just, pretty much
Running.
sprinting the whole way, yeah, or flying as fast as you could the whole way. Okay.
So Dahlia will relatch the door.
As Spot and Kage head on out the door, and at this point, Spot, Kage is like kind of talking your ear off. So, related to Dot, huh? Might be really interesting if you're looking for any kind of line of work. As the door closes. And now, Dot and Dahlia, you are in the office by yourselves, only hearing the crackling of the fire from the fireplace.
I have an extra objective for you, and perhaps some extra reward if you succeed. Are you interested?
You've piqued my interest for sure, but I think I have to be a little bit upfront with you. I mean, that's my brother out there, my twin brother. There's not really quite much that we don't tell each other.
Well, you've trained here at the guild, correct?
Yes.
You must be used to doing subtle missions, or then look, it's nothing under the table. It's just a sort of a private matter. It's nothing untoward.
All right, I'm listening.
So if you can, I need you to track down someone for me. He's a scholar, a mage of some kind. He went missing a little while ago. His name is Moman. I need him found. I need to know what he's been doing for the last few days.
Got,
Can you do this?
I mean, maybe. Got more of a description of him? How he looks, how tall, what race, last whereabouts?
DM, if I recall, he's a Dragonborn, correct?
Yes, he is a black dragonborn that typically wears blue robes. You know that he was one of the lead scholars at the Arcane College here in the city that was initially tasked out with the mission. You know that you had actually gotten news earlier today that he had gone missing.
Alright, I'll relay that all. So I need to find this person, this Dragonborn. He may have valuable information, and whoever took him, or if he left of his own will, then, I need to know.
All right.
And again, subtlety, please.
Sure. What would you like me to do if I were to find him?
Well, if you can...
Just contact you?
Preferably tell me where he is, yes. If you can find out anything about what he's been doing, that would be great. Possibly don't engage him, though.
Right. Gotcha. Keep this in mind.
I appreciate it. She'll subtly sort of rummage her pocket a little bit, just so you hear the jingle of the sound of the gold in her pocket. And there may even be a personal reward in it as well for you.
Her Dot's eyes kind of look in the direction of the jingle and goes back up to look at Talia. She'll say, all right, I mean, money, I don't mind that much. I'm just here to help and spice up life a bit. This sounds a little interesting, so let's see what I can do for you.
Great. All right, well, go meet up with your brother, and Godspeed to you two.
Great, and good luck to you too with finding information, I suppose.
She'll give a salute with her hand against her chest as Dot's leaving.
Okay. With that, Dot, you step out of Kage's office, and you see Spot kind of got that drone going on his face right now, or that look of like he's zoning out as Kage's like talking his ear off like a mile a minute. It's like, oh yeah, there's all sorts of great things about the company. We get all sorts of special benefits such as like healthcare and dental. Is see that Kage is very much trying to convince your brother to join up with the Bounty Hunters Guild right now. And, real quick, Chris, are you back? Because I know you said you had to step away for a minute.
Does not sound like he is.
No, we shall give him just a moment then. We shall take a quick break then. How about that? Take like 5 minutes, wait for him to come back.
Sure. Look,
Yeah.
we gotta maintain our beaks, you know?
Yeah, they got
You're
beakle.
like, dental? What?
They got beakle. There you go.
I know technically Japan birds, their beaks can like overgrow, but even then, like dental.
No, see, they got a special service where someone actually comes in with a cloth and just spit wipes their beaks.
Polish and shines it.
I mean, they can file them technically if they overgrow, but that's more based off their dieting. Anywho, I just thought that was fun. He was pitching that to him.
Kage may not be the smartest guy, but he manages to keep up with the paperwork at least.
Yeah, no, he seems nice.
So what do you think so far there, Zay?
Interesting, yeah.
How you holding up? I know it's getting kind of late.
Yes. Well, it seems like I still got a little bit more of my energy drink, so
Yeah.
we're good.
Okay.
Wait.
I'm thinking should be more or less done here with about another hour. That'll be more or less dependent on how fast you and Chris decide to move in this next little segment. But we're looking to close things out here within the hour. So I just kind of wanted to double check and see how you're holding up.
I hope Chris hasn't fallen asleep. That would.
No, he had to step up. His dog was barking.
Yeah.
Bork.
But
I don't know if that means he has to take his dog out and like actually walk him or not, which is kind of what I'm assuming.
maybe.
I mean, I would doubt it given how late it is.
Be surprised.
Sleep mode activated.
Let's see.
It's me right now. I'm so tired.
Sleep.
No.
I need answers.
I need to know how it ends.
We'll keep it together then.
I'm
What is,
trying.
Everyone dies. There you go. That's how it ends. Everyone dies.
What does our
No.
peanut
no.
gallery think so far?
Sitting over here, Dahlia, just being like, they ask her, does she have any other additional information? You just, no. I'm just sitting here
Just
like,
anything,
oh,
just
that's
crumbs.
that's
Crumbs. Give.
I love that your character dotted straight up. Yeah, no, I'm gonna spill this immediately. Don't do this. I just love that honesty.
It's just not to anyone else, just to my brother. Look, we're twins. We don't keep much from each other. I mean, I might have one, but
Well,
you know.
Gotta have your beans.
Mhm.
Everyone needs at least one bean.
Yeah.
yeah, apparently.
Darcy doesn't have many left.
Oh, she has like half a bean. It's
I'll
fine.
just make more beans. It's fine.
She's at the bottom of her can of beans.
Nice.
Yeah, we shut down our factory last week, so.
Oh, god damn it. Got bought out with a Monopoly nightmare.
You had to take over. You were, creating a what do you call them? A union. That's it.
Wow.
The bean union.
Nice.
I do find it funny though that Dahlia's like, I think this party needs help. Goes to a hunter's guild. Just casually shopping for new people.
Well, if you guys had been paying attention for the timeline, this is right after you guys had left Great Snake Rivertown. A couple hours later, this is more or less like she's now aware, to kind of fill you in, that Vic has gone missing, Arion has gone missing, and now Momin has gone missing.
Okay, so it's that timeline. I see. Okay.
Yes. And because she was in the city with you guys, knowing that the Bounty Hunter Guild is here and how good they are typically at keeping secrets, this is more or less like the next best option for her. If that helps more or less you guys connect some dots at all.
No, the timeline, now hearing that definitely helps, because I was sitting in the background being like, we've told her about these stags before. Fuck, we've even talked to Kage about it, and he was like, what the fuck is that? And we just did.
Yeah, this is like literally a couple hours after you had talked to him about it.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
Yeah. By this point here, you guys are probably, like, based on timeline here, we're probably looking to be somewhere close to about 5 o'clock in the afternoon right now, and you guys are like just outside of Jewel Harbor.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I kind of needed to clarify with Oliver whether or not I recognize the description or not.
Right.
Just so I was sure where I was at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, if you've seen a wild horse run past you, that might have been me.
What color is
There is no way in hell I'm running all that way normally.
Right.
When I can turn into a horse.
Right. All right. Everything good with your dog?
Yeah, it's 7 in the morning now, so she needed to go outside before
Right.
she actually pisses in the cellar.
Right. I kind of figured. So, how you holding up in general there, Chris?
I'm not going to go sleep anymore. I made myself a coffee as well.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Because we're looking to be on track here to finish things out within the hour. So I was
Yep.
more or less trying to get a gauge of how you were feeling.
Oh, I have a coffee. I'm not going to go sleep anymore until it's like fucking 12, 14, 15 hours.
Alrighty
I'm
then.
eating
What kind
my
of brand of
breakfast.
coffee are you fucking drinking? Jesus.
I mean, I slept for 4 hours. I'm good.
Nice. You two ready to get started back up?
Neat.
If you don't mind me finishing quickly my toast,
Oh.
I can go.
I'll give you just a sec then. I was about to reintroduce you back in.
Oh lord, that mug.
I could go for that right now. Actually, what am I saying? I'm already on my third cup.
Oh my god.
How do you guys do it? Like, I get the addiction to energy drinks and all, but like that much coffee, like you're bound to have a bloody heart attack.
Coffee is actually better for you than the energy drink is.
Mhm.
Brutal, how has a lowered heart rate not killed you from how much you sleep?
Sleep.
Or lack of sleep.
My body's random with sleep. Sometimes I sleep for ages. Sometimes I don't get any.
We noticed.
Never makes up its goddamn mind.
Just let me know when you're done with your toast there, Chris. I am sorry about the number of breaks that we've been taking. Typically, I try to keep it to about 1 break per session if I can, usually right around the middle point. But because of the issue that I had with my son tonight and everything, I was kind of doing it more in between each major section this go around. So.
And you need to take, like, normally I do need to take like a little break around this time to quickly let the dog out.
Okay.
She can hold it a little longer, but
Breaks are a good thing to have, so don't feel like you have to hold back on those.
Yeah.
yeah, it's maximum of like 5 to 10 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. You
Yeah,
good?
I'm good.
Okay. Let's get started back up then. So, to reiterate, Dot, you have come out of Kage's office, and you see Spot just kind of got that face like a drone as Kage is talking his ear off like a mile a minute, trying to more or less convince him to join up with the Bounty Hunters Guild, talking about health insurance policies, dental policies, just trying to do everything he can to convince Spot to join up now.
Okay, well, first of all, I've never really used the dental plan that we got. You kind of don't really, beaks, not teeth. But anyways, I don't think you should. My brother is more like a stay at home in the forest type. He's not gonna join up.
Very well.
Sorry.
If he had half the talent that you have, I could have used them, though.
Nah, his talents lie elsewhere.
Very well. Well, have you gotten everything done that you need with the captain?
Yes. Believe so.
Very well, then. Well, like I said, I recommend you make a trip over to the merchant, just in case you need anything else. Outside of that, you know your mission. Make the Bounty Hunter Guild proud.
I'll do my best. I'll try.
With that, he jumps out of the little chair that he was sitting in next to Spot and holds out his hand for you to shake it.
I'll shake it.
I need to get back to work. Contact! And he storms back off towards the exercise arena.
Oh no. Poor guy.
Oh, sorry, I blanked out there. Is he fine? Oh god, he's done talking. Oh jeez. Is he always this talkative?
When he's trying to convince you to join, it seems, yes.
Oh dear god.
Well, it's okay. I know after all this is done and over, probably heading back home, right? So.
Yeah. Well, how's it been? messages are kind of short since we have to keep it to a little bit, but
I mean, I told you all the stuff that happened in the arena the last time I came home to visit, but now we have so much time together. I can fill you in on all the stuff I've been up to since then. Let's walk and talk. Come on, we gotta go get some supplies. I'll push him out the door.
show it away.
Alright, and so with that, you both step on out of the door, out onto the streets of Great Snake Rivertown. And let me quickly do something on my end here. Let's go with this one. Okay, you're out on the streets of Great Snake Rivertown. There's snow still covering all the places. You can see a bunch of knights and a bunch of civilians. They seem to be trying to clean up the worst of the damages and everything from the orc attack still. Other people that are still being escorted off to the church that's up to the north. People that appear to be injured and they're just getting found today. And you see in like carts of dead orcs that are being carried off towards the northern entrance to be unceremoniously dumped out into the woods as you guys are headed towards the merchant's store, which is over here for you guys. While this is also going on, you notice that a lot of the decorations that have been put up for Peller's Rest have been torn down, as there's like wreaths and garlands and candles that were lit that just kind of scatter the streets all over the place. This place has been quite the mess after what had happened the previous day.
I have to say, whatever happened here was definitely not nice.
No, it was pretty intense, the attack. I mean, you can just see the aftermath. So many hurt people. Wasn't really pretty.
Used to be getting worse everywhere.
Does sound like that. As we're walking and talking, I'm gonna kind of like, in a more hushed tone, I guess, while kind of like looking around and make sure we're not being overheard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna lean in and tell my brother.
That's better. Go ahead.
Actually, there's one more thing.
Hmm?
Besides the shared request that we got from the captain there to meet up with this party, she asked me to do one extra thing.
Extra thing.
Yeah, it's...
I hope it had nothing to do with our home, because I really...
No, it's nothing to do with our home. I mean, it's mainly like a me thing that I have to do, but it doesn't feel right keeping it from you. You know, plus, it's nice to have a second pair of eyes, just in case.
Well, if that's fine with whatever she told you, then...
Well, I'm supposed to keep it on the down low, so...
Do I really want to know this?
I want you to know this. I told you, I can't keep anything from you. It feels wrong.
Oh, well, I don't have any business with these people normally anyway, so...
You just can't tell anyone else. We're the only two people, well, and the captain, that will know about this. No one else. It'll be fine.
Just gonna drag a little token on here to give you an idea more or less about where you're standing at.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you say so. I hope you just don't get into trouble for this.
Just don't say anything, and no one will find out, right?
I don't plan on.
Good. She asked me to look for a dragonborn. Let me look at
That's
this.
vague.
A black dragonborn named Momin? Scholarly type, I believe is what she said.
Never heard of him.
I mean, I haven't either, but well, that's our job to do, to find out, you know? We gotta, well,
That's
it's
your
supposed to be
job.
it's now our job.
Oh god, I'm gonna regret this.
I just need a second pair of eyes, you know? It's my first actual, like, mission, you know, job, quest, and I'm just a little worried I might skip over some details accidentally. So, you know, just an extra pair of eyes, just in case. You know?
Alright, I will let you know if I see him.
Thanks! Love you, brother. I mean, I think we're going to be trying to find more information about him. But the main thing is trying to find where he went. It sounds like he disappeared somewhere.
Huh.
And we're not to engage if we were to find him. So,
This is getting more... Yeah, what's the word? I don't trust this.
there's a lot of details missing, for sure. I kind of don't really trust it either, but at least it's like, yeah, she's telling us just find the information, find the whereabouts, don't do anything else, and that's fine, you know? As long as we don't have to actually engage in any way. We can decide if we want to actually tell her where he is, if we do find him. You know?
It's... You're getting paid for this, I'm assuming, so up to you.
Yeah, but, yeah. It's not really about the money, you know? I know, like, I'm getting paid for all of the stuff that I'm doing in the Bounty Hunters Guild, but, like, it never really was about the money. It's all about the adventure, you know? That's the reason why I left. But at the end of the day, well, not really
You
the
do need
day.
money.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is just when I'm done with this place, I was thinking, you know, I'd come back home for a bit, and it's not like we really need money home.
Oh well, that chatty kobold will not be happy about that.
Well, I'm not saying there's like a day or a timeline, you know, it's just a eventually at some point kind of thing.
Well, so anyway, I do have some money. Some people that I scared away from where we live. I don't know why they dropped their coin.
Are you sure they dropped their coin, or did you maybe... She kind of wiggles her fingers at him, you know.
I didn't do anything. I just scared them away.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know I wouldn't hurt someone for no reason. Come on.
Oh, yeah. But, well, coming into our home is kind of a reason, right?
Well, I don't want any poachers or something finding
Yeah.
all of that.
It's justified. It's fine. Pats him on the back.
So I have roughly like 150 something. It's amassed quite a lot.
That's a lot of money. What the heck? That's about how much I have after doing the whole thing with the arena and the few odd jobs here with the guild.
I mean, I
Well,
assume you've earned a little more. You have some living expenses to take care of, right?
Yeah, a lot of the money went towards that. So.
Is there a way to, like, banish someone from the chat?
Nice.
God damn it.
I know.
Yeah, and with that, you guys arrive in front of the general merchant store there with a little wooden sign that's kind of swinging out front of it. It looks actually the store actually for the most part was undamaged from everything that had happened beforehand. And on the sign it just says Great Snake Merchants.
Ah, Great to see that this place hasn't been affected by the attack. It's still up and running. Let's hope that they still have merch inside. I'll walk right in.
Okay. Yep, you both walk on in, and you can see up at the counter there is a fire genasi who is going over some of his materials and things like that, and sees you all come in, and at first is a little confused as he's looking up, looking directly forward there, not seeing anybody until he looks down, and then he sees the two of you walk in. Oh, hello there! Welcome to Great Snake Merchants. My name is Cavil Highflare. This is my general merchant store here. I've got just about anything and everything that you could ask for. Now, tell me, what is it that you're looking for, and I might just have it for you.
I'm looking at this, and immediately the first thing I'm going to get are blankets, because I can never have too many.
Okay. Yep. And as you see him do the greeting there, you can see there's all sorts of shelves that line the walls, and a couple of almost like bookcases that carry more items that kind of almost creating aisles almost. And it's just like he's got a whole bunch of stuff. Just about anything that you can possibly think of that is considered a common item. He pretty much has it. And the thing that I just shared, if you guys are able to see it, he does have a list here of things that you guys can be able to purchase. But there are also things on here that is not on the list as well. If it's is something that you might like specifically that you might be looking for, just let me know.
I would take one of those healer kits.
Ah, you got your eye on the healer kit, do you? These usually come in quite handy with many adventurers. And so normal price for that is 5 gold pieces, sir.
Oh, very well. Put the 5 gold on the table.
Yep. And while you're doing that, you notice Dot off to the corner there is where this giant stack of woolen blankets are, just a myriad of different colors. And you see her just kind of almost flapping her wings a little bit as she's trying to pick through them all.
Just trying to find the really fluffy, really colorful ones.
Yeah, you managed to find about 3 different ones that are super colorful. They've got these intricate almost plaid patterns in them of just all sorts of different colors.
Great, I'll take them all.
Okay, let me double check something real quick. I'm assuming that you just bring them up to the counter.
Mm-hmm. And I guess I'll look over and I see Spot with the healer's kit. And I'd like to ask this merchant, do you have any potions by any chance?
I'm afraid I don't. In order for you to get potions, you'll need to go see the enchanting mage, just on the far side of town, towards the east.
Right, yeah. Just came across my mind seeing that kit. Don't think it would do me any good using that, but something to put on our shopping list, I think. For now, just these.
Very well, that'll be 1 gold, 5 silver, please.
I'll slide it across the table to him.
I think you will enjoy these very nicely. Especially handcrafted and imported in from Jewel Harbor. Some of the finest blankets around, I'll tell you that much, ma'am.
Thanks.
Is there anything else I could be able to potentially help you out with? And, at this point, you also see there's a pen of mastiffs that are off to his left-hand side, and then over on his right-hand side, there seems to be what you could, what you may call a red district area. There's a little velvety rope that is up, and there's a little reddish aura emanating from a bookcase down on that side.
Now I can't not look at these. Alright.
Do you wish to go into our private section, ma'am?
She'll kind of hesitate a bit, do I want to? Fuck it. Yeah, let's go.
Yep, he doesn't even have to pull away the little velvety rope there, as you guys are able to walk just right
go
under it. Had some people in here not too long ago, a couple hours ago. They seem to be very interested and bought a couple books from there themselves. This newest one here in particular seems to be the newest favorite, and you can see there's like a whole shelf that's got just the same book on it that's for sale there, called The Tale of the Tiefling Mistress. It's the newest #1 seller. It's all over the place.
Oh, I think I heard about this. Recommended to me, but I haven't gotten around to picking one up for myself. Maybe I should.
It's 5 silver pieces each.
I'll kind of grab one from the shelf, and then I'm gonna keep looking on the shelf for anything else before I pay for it all.
Okay. And with your passive perception there, you realize very, very quickly this is like the smut aisle.
Oh yeah, for sure. I want to see what other interesting smut books you got here. Smile.
Well, first one that sticks out immediately is The Giant Monsters Who Wouldn't Stop. There is also The Tale of the Avengers and the Battles of the Butts.
Interesting. I'm gonna maybe take a look at the back cover of that. I'll look at the front cover. What's on the front cover?
The front cover seems to have a mixed assortment of like humanoids that are done in like this gold inlay outline that's done onto like a leather-bound book there, and they seem to be facing off against what appears to be this giant of a man. And shall we say that there are some certain details that are on the cover there that I won't say because it's going on YouTube.
Well,
Alright,
you see Spot in the background just eyeing down Dot. I didn't know you had this kind of interest.
Well, you see,
No, don't mind me. Continue your shopping. I will be over here.
I mean, maybe you'll find something you like too, brother. You know,
I already
have to
head
tell-
back out.
Yep, and at that point, Spot just turns around, goes back out underneath the velvety robe, and starts browsing down the other aisles there, looking for anything else that might be worth buying for survival means.
I'm just saying, we didn't have this kind of stuff in the forest. And there's a lot of free time sometimes in between training sessions, you know? So.
I'm not there anymore. Nope. I don't hear it.
Alright. What else is here? What else is here?
Yeah, there's just a whole myriad of books that are just, I mean, it's pretty much anything from like extremely softcore kind of stuff, like very shall we say stereotypical of like Spanish dramas, to anything upwards to being more like stuff of like 50 Shades of Grey. You've got like just about anything and everything that you could really pick from if you really want to. But something else that you did notice too with the Tale of the Tiefling Mistress, from the quick blurb that you read on the back, you noticed some red flags that are very reminiscent to Yaza.
Oh. Interesting. Very interesting. So I'm gonna take that one for sure. I'm gonna pick up a few more of varying levels of interesting. And I'm also going to pick out something a lot softer that I think maybe I can get my brother interested in.
Oh god.
Smile.
Oh god.
So something that has like a very innocent looking cover and title.
Yeah, you find one, just because I think it's gonna be funny here, you find one that's called The Princess Bride.
Okay.
And from the quick blurb that you read on the back of it, you can tell that it's very much more geared towards as like an adventure kind of story. But there are, you know, there's much more mild language in this one, and it's got a very pretty silvery inlay on the leather cover there of what appears to be what looks like a princess and a knight that are like holding hands and looking at each other on the cover.
Alright, and then I'll come back out with my stack of books.
How many did you say you picked up? Like 4 or 5?
Let's say 4. No, let's say 5.
Okay. Yep. So with that, you go back up to the counter and you meet up with Cabell, and he's like, that'll be 2 gold, 5 silver, please.
Alright. I'll hand it over to him.
Thank you very much for doing business, and if there's anything else, don't hesitate to ask. As he puts the money away into a lockbox.
The cooking equipment you have here.
The which one?
Cooking equipment.
Oh, yes. We have varying types of cooking equipment, anything from your household needs to things that can be used on the road for travel. They tend to fold up very nicely.
Something for travel sounds appropriate. I left most of my usual stuff at home. How much for those?
Let me double check in. Okay, I see here. Well, if you're looking for the standard cookware, either be a pot and a pan and some cooking utensils, that is typically 3 gold pieces, but for the kinds that are used for on the road and that can fold up nice and neat and store easily into a pack, that'll be 5 gold pieces for a set.
I take the full set.
You take the full set?
Yep.
Thank you very much for doing business with me, sir. I will give you my personal guarantee that you will not be disappointed with that set.
Lovely.
That's gonna be like, I've missed your cooking, actually, brother. This is going to be so nice. Can't wait.
And leave it to my stupid brain to mistype equipment 5 times.
Nice.
There we go.
Alrighty. Is there anything else you guys would like to look at while you were here?
2 things. But first, hey, Spot. I'm gonna pull you over to where the clothes are. And I'm gonna kind of point to, like a... I'm looking at like a long cloak, essentially, like a... for someone much bigger than us.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna be like, hey, brother, when we meet up with these people, do you want to maybe do a little thing? And she's going to do some hand motions, like stacking. You.
Oh, you gotta be joking.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Do you want to do it?
Persuade me. Do it.
How about you give us persuasion then?
Oh gosh, please.
16.
Oh, God damn it.
Nice.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah?
I said it at 15 in my head. God fucking damn it.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'll grab that, and...
Just because I missed the tomfoolery with you. God. Oh, Jesus.
Awesome.
She has the biggest smile on her face ever.
Do you want it to be a specific color?
What the fuck? No, I think like a neutral color would be fine.
Okay. So the cloak that you pull up, it's kind of a darkish gray, not quite black. But it does have like a little hood built into it. Normally meant for a person that stands somewhere between 5.5 to 6 feet tall. But it definitely looks like with the 2 of you in there that it should flow very nicely behind, with you guys if you stack up the way that you're thinking about doing.
Yes. Yes, I'll take that. And I saw gaming sets. Is there a deck of cards?
Yes,
by
there
any
is.
chance? I would like to
Yeah,
pick
there's a whole myriad of them, all sorts of different designs. Pretty much anything that might be your taste, he's got.
looking at nothing too fancy, like a standard playing deck. Yeah. It's just a playing deck. Something that could fit in my box. I think there's like a little bit extra space in there, right? For
Yeah, there might be
putting.
enough room there to fit. It might be a bit of a tight squeeze to get the box closed back, but I think you could fit it in there.
All right, yeah. So I'll look for something that could fit size-wise, I guess. I don't want anything too big. And it doesn't have to be really fancy, just a standard, ordinary.
Okay. Yeah, you find a pretty standard looking deck. Nothing too fancy about it at all. You know, it very much just looks to be a very, you know, just a typical deck that, you know, you could be able to purchase at like a Dollar Tree or something like that. You bring that and the cloak up to the counter again and put them up there. Ah, very nice cloak. Do you want this hemmed or anything? It's a bit long, don't you think?
No, it's fine. It's for someone else.
Oh, a gift, I see. Very nice, very nice. Well, that'll bring your total up with these items here to 2 gold and 4 silver pieces, please.
All right, I'll hand that over.
Thank you very much for doing business.
I hope I'm mathing this right. Okay, yeah. I think that should be it. I don't have anything else I want to get, I don't think.
All right, and what
neither.
about you? Are you good? Okay.
Yep.
And so with your new purchases and everything else like that, Cavill gives you a deep bow. Seems to be very happy with the purchases that you've made. Please do come back again soon. I have just about anything and everything that you may possibly need for the road, with a big smile on his face.
Well, keep it in mind and head out the door.
All right. And you guys head back out, and you guys are now back in the streets of Great Snake River Town. Excuse me. All right, and now what would you guys like to do? You know that your mission and everything that had been given earlier, you know that you're supposed to meet up with a group that is headed to Jewel Harbor right now. Which
Well, I
was
would say
directly
we head
south from
out.
here.
You did say you wanted to get some potions?
I was thinking about it just in case, you know, but I trust you, brother. You got my back, right?
Definitely.
It'll be fine then. Maybe we should head out then.
Right.
Faster we meet up with them, the faster we can get caught up and started on all this, I guess.
Well, if we want to go fast, I can definitely speed us up a little bit.
Are you okay to do that? You're not feeling tired from earlier?
I have my ways to feel less tired. Give me a little bit of space. I will step back and wild shape into a warhorse.
Very nice. Yep, and you see this little owlin all of a sudden morph into a very large warhorse. Do you want the warhorse to look like anything in particular as far as colors or anything?
No, just generic. Probably a little brownish colored, like the feathers.
Nice. And
I will get down and nudge her up.
Right. And where would you say that you're sitting at, Dot? You gonna sit on his head? You gonna sit on his back?
As funny as I think it would be, I'm not gonna do that to him. I'll sit on his back.
Okay. You guys do have control over the token there, so if you wish to move it around, you can.
Well, we're supposed to head south, so south it is.
South it is.
All right. And you guys
Let's get out of here.
start making your way, headed down south. All right, and as you're going through the streets, you see just further south you go, less and less of the destruction until you get through the trade district, which seems to be pretty much mostly untouched. And eventually, after about 15 minutes of walking there, you get out onto the bridge. And as you're crossing across the bridge and you get over to the other side, Dot, with your passive perception, you notice something sticking up out of the snow just off to your left-hand side there. a flower. And it's pretty rare. You and as for as many times as you've come this way, you've never seen this here before. But it seems to be growing nice and strong in the snow right there along the edge of the bank. You know exactly what kind of flower this is.
Wait, brother. Wait, hold up. Stop for a second. Let me down here really quick. I need to see something.
I tilt my head as to like you can fly down, you know.
Oh, wait. Right, sorry, not thinking. little distracted.
Nice.
Yeah,
You just
so
heard a like horse laugh, like.
oh no. Wait, you can't even say that you're a horse. I can't speak horse. But yeah, I'll kind of hop down and make my way over. It's growing out of the ground?
Yep, it's growing out of the ground. It just seems to be right there by the edge of the bank. Surprisingly, doing just fine. It doesn't even seem to be affected by the cold.
Judging, can I tell if this was planted like from like a seed, so it took time to grow, or if it was planted like how long ago maybe?
Give me a perception
Do you
check.
know what I mean?
21, nice. Yep, you clear away the snow around this fire lily. And what you notice, even though it is starting to get a little bit old, the signs of it and everything, with your almost eagle-like vision there, you were able to tell that this was planted.
Recently-ish?
Looks like maybe 2 or 3 months ago, maybe, if you were to give it a guess.
Okay. And it's just the singular.
Just a singular
flower?
It's just a singular flower, yep.
Interesting. I guess I'll kind of clear the snow away and kind of pat the soil down, check on it, make sure it's doing okay. But I won't do anything to it. Just let it chill and let it grow or do its thing there, and I'll go back to my brother.
And before you head off there, while you're patting in the making sure that the ground and the soil and everything is nice, you do notice something a little bit different, because this is actually the first one that you found that is alive in the ground. It does actually emit its own heat.
Oh. Interesting. The flower itself, or is it the area around the flower as well?
The flower and like the stem itself, it seems to be keeping itself warm, and that's why it's able to grow.
This isn't. I know this is not a normal thing that it can do, though, right?
You've never seen one that was actually alive. You typically get them when they've already been snipped.
True. Okay. Gosh, I don't want to take it. That's the thing. Yeah, so I think I'll go back to my brother.
Okay.
But I'll keep that in. Can I take a look around, see if anyone's around in this area by any chance?
Using your same perception there, you take a quick look around, looking back on the bridge, under the bridge, over in the tree lines and everything else like that. There doesn't seem to be any sign of anybody that might seem to be out of the ordinary. Maybe just like the occasional wagon that's coming across the bridge seem to be carrying supplies out from the trade district headed down towards Jewel Harbor. That's about all you see.
Okay. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. I'll come over to my brother. I'm a little bit distracted as I kind of hop back up, and I'll be like, I thought I saw something, but we're good to go. Let's keep heading south.
All right.
Just see the horse nod and pick up the pace because we're out the city, so I can go fast.
Very nice. All right, and so with that, you guys head on south, out of Great Snake River Town.
And it will only last for like 2 hours, so I'm gonna make the most of the time I have
Right.
with it.
Yep, and you guys make it outside of Great Sank Rivertown, headed south towards Jewel Harbor. And I am going to end the session there.
Man, the fields. Oh,
Goodbye.
Hear it! Oh my god!
way too invested.
Goodness gracious.
It's fine. We'll be back up again, and we have our setting stones. We can still talk with each other. You know, it's just. But it won't be the same.
I'm about to say, you can't harass him that way.
I know. It's so limiting. Only 20 words.
Zay will find a way.
But I have to like carefully plan out my words, so it's.
No.
I will try to find my way.
On the down low.
Just one day a message just comes, screw you, and just nothing for the entire day. I'm like,
Just a meme or something.
huh?
She just sends a meme.
Just after a loss in the arena, screw this, and just.
Images through sending.
If I could send images through sending, it'd just all be emojis.
Oh my god. No, D&D has become WhatsApp. No!
No.
I'm just saying, you know, sometimes
Like
it's a
you
little
get a-
surprising how much you can say with emojis.
You get a sending and the fucking Skype call sound starts playing.
On.
Oh,
Oh man.
Boop, boop, boop,
don't even give them
No.
ideas. Jesus.
boop, 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 boop.
We will have to request that for Oliver when he does his editing.
yeah.
Anytime you do that.
God, fucking every time we do a setting, it's just a fucking. Oh no. Like,
Oh, that needs to be canon now. Anytime someone uses a sending or a sending stone.
Not gonna lie, as a character, Dahlia hasn't even been here and she wants to live here. She just doesn't know it yet.
Wow.
you are not gonna fit in that house, I'm just gonna tell you.
I
No.
will.
Well,
find
you
a
won't
way.
even get into the house. There's
The
no way.
entrance is like. Nothing more than a meter.
It's alright,
Not
I'll get a sorcerer to cast extended spell reduce and I'll be fine.
Oh my god.
Breaks down the house after, like, the spell runs out.
You're gonna like. The spell's gonna go in, you're gonna like fucking grow and slam your head into the top of the tree and then just get like a concussion and pass out.
I mean, that's a great way to spend the day. You spend the day building the house and you spend the night sleeping in it, and then you break it in the morning and you do it all over again.
Oh my god.
That's the life cycle.